Go. Did you forget?
Hey, everybody. Modern Comic Mayhem side. We've got top 5 Kirby covers, some awesome comic reviews, and some great talk. So stick around. It's going to be a fun night. Marco, cue the music.
That's awesome. I guess the welfare queen can copy that one again.
Well, we forgot something, right?
Yeah, drinking game. Look, what's up? Drinking game. Make sure we play the drinking game.
Good intro on that one too. It was like marble mouth mayhem. You're like marble mouth mayhem. I'm like, oh, this is a good start. It's already off the rails.
It's already the holiday weekend. It is the holiday weekend, folks. It is what it is. We got some great people with us. Of course, we got Travis back. He's got a new little concept or a new little game we're going to play today. And we got Ish. Ish is going to cover the con that he's at, and me and him are going to do a little Heroes Reborn. Marvel Ish. I think we both had it, and we'll talk about it a little bit later. But we both were going to go into this like, I can't believe what they're doing. And then we read it and said, oh,
there's been some twists and turns.
I can't believe what they're doing. So that's going to be fun. Kyle, what else you got?
Oh, man, just so much fun. I don't even know what to do with myself.
Can I tell you where I went today? Can I show the picture? Can I show
let's start with
Hey,
that.
how about this? How about this? Hey, for all you people that make fun of the spots that I go hunting, and you guys, some of you guys are out there, you're like, I can never find a new spot to go to. It's tough out there, man. Like Jesse J's buying up all the comics, man, and it's the only place I can go. Yeah, like, sometimes you just got to do a little bit of looking, like at your local Ace Hardware store, which now sells comics on Wednesdays. This is literally taken out of the. Saw this, was supposed to pick up pizza. Family ate late. Kids were all in a tuffle, all 20 of them.
Sorry, I got to go to Ace for my comics.
I had to go to Ace to go see what was going on. It popped up. Dude, I'm telling you, this thing was great. Okay, so you get the Dark Horse. All of a sudden I go, there's no way there's Dark Horse popping up on, and I didn't pull out all the pictures. The next one was Marvel came up on the screen. Then it said DC. They even had Zenoscope. I didn't even know you were allowed to advertise Zenoscope, but Zenoscope came popping up. This said New Comic Wednesday at the Ace Hardware. So, of course, I had a U-turn around in the middle of the 5-way highway, drop back in there and see what was going on. And they had comics, man, in an Ace Hardware, in the back of an Ace Hardware.
How are they displayed? Is that a spinner? Are they racked? What's going on?
No, so this is yeah. So this is crazy. For everybody's familiar with Ace Hardwares, right? Like just a hardware store. It's like a regular.
That's where I go for all my grout needs.
Yeah, good. They're not as big as like a Home Depot, but not as small as mom and pop. It's in between. In the back of this Ace Hardware store, apparently they had a hobby shop for like RC cars, and whoever's running that decided they're going to expand and start to sell comics and pops. I should have taken some pictures inside. Yeah, pretty much they had newsstand, like the magazine style racks on two sides when you walked, because it was like even a separated section. And they had all the weeklies, and they had like the last weeklies and the back issues there. And then they had one big table of just like back issues, but back issues for like the last 6 months or wherever this comic shop, hobby shop, Ace Hardware situation. Like there's an old man in the front just looking, and like he's like, oh, you're not even here. Like, can I get you a washer and nuts? And at the same time, can you go buy some comic books? And then they had like a glass case, and the only thing in the glass case, which was their expensive book, was a set of 1 through 16, 1 through 19, the whole Maximum Carnage series. Bag and boarded. Okay. Everything was nice, though. I mean, it was very nice. There definitely were some current issues. I really was running. I drove an hour to get this special like pizza, so I was already running late. And but then, so then I was in there. So I only spent about 30, 40 minutes. I didn't actually buy anything because all of it was a little bit too new. And the price point on Maximum Carnage, a little bit out of my usual buying range. Not a bad price, mind you. Not a bad price at all. But I'm thinking like
Ace Hardware, where the prices are low and where the comics go. Ace Hardware. I feel like you're going to go in there and they're going to start like selling. It's like an old or like. There's like a Mogwai. You can buy a Mogwai there. Yeah. There's an old Steam man like being in the corner.
So there's one guy running. So they're in the back there because oh man. I mean, look, I'm trying to not knock this guy's hustle because like The Guy's Hustle. Yeah, it's a fold over pizza, but the Guy's Hustle is amazing, except for he has 3 different counters. He has a counter for the comic books, a counter for the hobby portion, and a counter from whatever other side business. I didn't have the time to figure all that out yet. What was going on in the third side business? So like he'd stay at the comic business for
4 gallons of paint, Robin number 2,
yes,
a new key made, and Heroes Reborn.
And he definitely had some of the hot variants had sold out there. You could tell because he had enough of the copies for it still left over. He had some interesting ones. Somebody had definitely gone through and taken that Wonder Woman #1 from the Future State that's very popular right now. Somebody had gone through and pillaged that already. But there's some stuff still there. It's still cover price, and I'd already gotten it for FOC, so I'm not trying to pay cover price on it. But if he has a sale, I'll go back and go through. It wasn't bad. Everything was in great shape. It looked really good. I mean, I don't know what's Stick Boy saying? Yes. Yeah. Yes. But no, you go in and there's posters.
Not 5 minutes.
So on the 2 right side of the door, there's poster of there was a poster for DC for the Future State, and then there was a Spider-Woman, the new Spider-Woman series poster out, and then it was right next to that propane rental. There's a sale for wheelbarrows, Memorial Day sale weekend special for all hardware. Please come in. And it was amazing. It's one of those great spots where you're like, dude, how great's your life when you can go into an Ace Hardware store and there's comics in the back of it, dude.
You said something in there that made
Pops. Yeah. There's Pops too.
You said something in there that made me flashback to growing up when you talked about the posters. I want more stores to bring back the poster flippers. Remember those bad boys, like a Spencer's gift posters?
Yeah.
Every now and then, like a Target or something, you'll see them, and there's still a joy that comes through flicking through that stuff.
Just do. Ed, thank you for saying hi for the algorithm. I really do appreciate it. Sorry, Travis, we got to tell. Whenever Ed stops by, we got to say hi for the algorithm. Thank you very much. Load up your wheelbarrow with comics. I'm not even sure there's a wheelbarrow full of comics there yet. He's a little light, but it'll be definitely a good place to keep on the radar and check out how it's going. I mean, it is what it is. Maybe I'll go back and take some more pictures if everybody's interested. Just put the down below or in the chat. We'll see if you guys are interested. Maybe I'll go in there, do a little promo for the guy, do a little shoot, help out his business a little bit. Hey,
it's thinking outside of the box.
What do you think Diamonds, when Diamonds sending out their books, they're like, and Ace Hardware? We're sending this to Ace.
Well, whoever approved that account, same with Lunar.
Yeah. Yeah, because it had to be Lunar, right? Yeah, I mean,
I'm sure it was under the hobby shop's name.
Yeah, I think it's under the so it's
that would make sense. So they probably list it as like a toy store, and
I think he
got to
lists
send
it
a
as
photo of your brick and mortar, and so you're sending a photo of the Ace, storefront.
Well, that's why the 2 posters were up there. Yeah, that's why the 2 posters were up there. He probably shot it from the side, and then under the Ace, that's probably why they had this. I'm not joking. I thought that's why you turned around. I was like, I didn't see this right, did I? I mean, think about it. Ace side, it's like the green barbecue, green egg barbecue, and the next thing you see is Marvel pops up, and you're like, wait, what? DC, wait, what? That says propane tanks, $19.99 for a refill, $49.99 if you need a tank. And you're like, oh, okay. Zenoscope, wait, it was Zenoscope? Then you think somebody's just messing around, right? I was like, there's some kid that's playing. So then you debate, well, of course I debated, should I go in? And then I said, well, I've been to worse places. Absolutely, I'm going to go in. So I had to go investigate, and I did some investigation. I probably should have come back a little bit more prepared for this report. I know there's probably going to be funny jokes going on in the chat right now about it. But if you guys want, I'll go back and I'll see what I could do.
I like how Marco's recruiting. He's like, there's some funny comic kid in the store, and I want to see if he wants to do a podcast.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was doing. And I pull up too. I pull up, and the guy I parked next to is, of course, it's a Honda Civic, and the guy's got Grogu on the thing, because I was like, there's no way this is the right place, right? It's a bunch of Billies coming out there. Everybody's getting their work done. Some guy's got one toilet on one hand like this, and it's cracked, and he's walking it in, and another guy's got some nuts and bolts in his hand. I was like, oh, okay, this is actually a hardware store. There's no way there's comics. And I just parked, and I was like, man, I really need to pick this pizza up. But I look next to me in the Honda Civic, and you know which car I'm talking about, because there's one of these at every comic book place. It's like a grayish Honda Civic, a little bit of sun damage. You're not quite sure what size the tires are, if they're a 4 or 12. and then you think like, did they even make tires in the size 4 for anything but a go-kart? Maybe not. And then you look over and they got a couple bumper stickers and they've got something sitting on the dash. You know what I mean? And sitting on his dash was Grogu. So I was like, oh, it's on. There's definitely comics here. So I went inside and checked out the comics.
Well, it makes me feel good about. I've been trying to get my malt shop / shoe shine / comic book store business up and running. And I feel like this is seeing that the market is capable of holding such stores. It's going to be good for me.
Yeah. So that's it. Like I said, I'll try to do some more recon if I got time. It is a bit of a drive out there and I don't go, but the pizza was a figure who was asking, yeah, it's like this full meat pizza, but it's like folded over. Maybe I'll bring down a slice later and show everybody. It's amazing.
I knew my Chowder and Comics
like,
place was a good idea.
Chowder Comics is a great name for a comic.
Chowder Comics.
There's one local guy. This is the one shop I will not go to. There's a local guy, and every time I go there, he is eating an extra garlic, cheese, bacon, and pepperoni pizza, and he will, while licking his fingers, cash you out. And then slam your books on the thing. That's why I always give everybody a hard time about this thing right here, the slamming of the books, is because he does it. I just refuse to go to that place anymore. Yeah, food truck, never good. Never good. Is that Jesse? Yeah. All right, either way.
I think it's on to something, man.
No, don't.
Stupid comics.
We can figure something out. Hey, make sure you
guys for comics.
Yeah. Take your chata to go and some comics. So that was that. That's an adventure, I guess. You know, I mean, you don't see that every day. It's pretty cool. Yes, Ish, I don't know how he got approved though. Like, I mean, seriously, because when you have to give the storefront that show the picture, even if because if I remember before I got mine revoked, it was a little bit of an interesting thing to have a storefront, and they actually wanted like real proof, and then like you could use photo and stuff like that. But I'm not sure how.
You think there's a market for where they're not selling comics where you could definitely make money? I'm thinking airports. There should be like not and they have the airport bookstores, but an airport comic stand.
Absolutely. As a kid, I remember picking up. You'd get like the multi-packs at the airports.
Yeah, the Whitmans.
You'd read them on long flights. It would be Spider-Man, Thor, Cap.
Mm-hmm.
And you can leave them in the seat back, and you're just like, it's just sharing comics. You just pick up a $2 book, $3 book, leave it in the seat back if you don't want. You're good to go.
What would you consider the Whitmans, Ish? Would you consider? I mean, they're a reprint, right? But would you consider them a repack? Is that what you consider? Somebody asked me this question the other day. What my opinion on the Whitmans were, and I was like, well, I mean, like, you know, in cards, it'd be like a repack, right? Like it'd be kind of like the repack equivalent of a repack. But it's definitely a reprint, right? Like it qualifies under the reprint category because it is a reprint. That's what it is. I wouldn't exactly consider it a second or third printing. I don't know. Maybe that's for a different day or a different show. But
man, it would be cool. Could be honey hole.
What's that?
If there was no other additional reprints, if there's the first print and then the reprint, then I mean, I guess it counts as a second print at that point.
Yeah, but I guess you're right. I guess it would be a second print, maybe. But there's regional printing going on. Okay, yeah, that's for another day. But that's from Eric. Eric, just so you know, me and Eric talk about a bunch of this. Eric, who does a lot of the art, did some other stuff there too. By the way, real quickly, I saw Stickboy in the chat, a bunch of other people. Guys, if you're gonna hit me on the DMs with your submission for top 5 Kirby colors, do it now so I can get them in. I'll check in 10 minutes. If you guys have them in there, we'll try to throw together slides for you. If not, it's gonna be late today. So
yes, someone in the comments mentioned movie theaters. Also, a good place too.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, especially now since every other movie is some kind of franchise
see a Marvel movie, and you walk out, and then you buy like a tie-in comic.
Oh, yeah, the Venom books. Yeah,
I'm gonna start setting up out front of the movie theater selling comics.
Well, even for trailers, like the trailers that are coming, like that they're playing, then you before the movie comes out, you put them out there.
Could you imagine if you could put together like Whitman packs of the trailers? So like you do like read these like 18 like a Walmart for those people. It's the same thing as the Walmart stuff. See what I'm saying? So you just would do a repack of these like offshoot 18th prints or whatever reprint stuff. I just do it on cardboard copy and do it for $10 a pack. And when they're leaving the theater, you know, after they saw the previews, they'd get these little packages of number one. You do, oh look, it's the number ones, and you could just push out number ones off. DC should do that. Maybe they'd sell a comic book or two.
They always sell a comic book to me. You know what they should do? Remember the ones that I was showing off that were in the Sunday paper, and it was like a portion of the book.
Uh-huh.
That's the kind of stuff they should do at the movie theaters that they should always just be giving out. Something to entice you to go find the rest of the book.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I went through. Are all your guys' movie theaters open? Because I just drove. Well, I was driving there. I was actually checking this out.
Everything's open.
Yeah. There's like.
Yeah, in Arizona, absolutely everything's open.
Is it packed though? Like
everywhere's packed.
No. I don't know.
Really?
I haven't seen like packed.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, you haven't been to Ace Hardware then?
No.
Ace Hardware was
true.
packed. It was the comic shop. Because I went by the Magic Johnson Theater one that's pretty popular, and it was probably a quarter both times I went past that. I was expecting it to be a little bit more full. United Artists looks like it's done. They're not even cutting the grass over there anymore. And Phoenix looks like it's going out of business too. So I was just wondering.
I work at Old Town Scottsdale here in Arizona.
Artists.
That place is packed.
Really? That's good. I'm
They
surprised.
still have United Artists theaters?
Yeah, in the great state of Michigan. Well, they did. I don't think they're going to have them anymore. They actually were really nice. I mean, their inside was great. Like,
I think it's been like
prices
20
were good.
years at least since they've had one in Arizona.
Well, that's how far Michigan is behind.
Yeah, we should
That's
close
true.
down good movie theaters and just make junky ones. Yeah, you're right. That's what we should do.
That's me.
Yeah.
I've got comics here.
Comics. That's cool. Speaking of selling comics, Ish, you a
He's
couple
like
weeks ago.
three-card Monty in comics. He's like, hey, ho, 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 ho.
A couple weeks ago, you had that con that you guys were doing out there in Arizona.
Yes. So they
How'd
called
that
it
turn
was Scottsdale Comic Con. It was pretty good. I think the right size crowd showed up. I know they didn't want to pack it in, because of COVID concerns, but yeah, I mean, it was a great crowd. There was a lot of good stuff. Obviously, there was no guests, so it was just vending comics.
People dress up?
No cosplayers. It was I'd say probably like a 30 and older crowd.
How were the sales? Were they looking good? Was it looking up? Was it keeping pace?
I walked around and I just, prices are up across the board, reflecting the market trends. And, there were certain books, even I was surprised. I was like, wow. John Byrne, She-Hulks, CG Seed, going for $900.
And going for it too. Like people are buying them.
Yeah.
Like, that's like, cause I remember a couple, like 4 or 5 months ago, we had a conversation and somebody was like, I can't believe they'd have eBay prices. And I was like, yeah, they had eBay prices at that con, but you know what? They also had people buying them for those prices. Like that's the big thing.
There was not a lot of haggling.
Prices. What you're thinking is, you know what? I can get it off of eBay for, $400. I don't have to pay shipping now. I don't have to worry about being destroyed. I don't have to worry about it getting stolen off my porch. I don't have to worry about the slow ass shipping of USPS.
Yeah. I mean,
you don't have to worry about getting a pair of women's pants like I did once. I opened the box and there was a pair of pants in there.
Oh, geez.
What book did you think did you pay for?
It was actually an Aliens action figure.
Oh.
And instead of that, it was a women's pair of pants. That's always my point of reference from now on.
But yeah, that's interesting to hear. I mean, I always say it like this. Like, I don't think, the one thing that does kind of stink is that dealers found out that they don't need to sell books at cons anymore because they have it listed on eBay and they can sell it there. So when you come in, do know that those books you're seeing, because everybody had to make a living, you know what I mean, while places were shut down. So that stuff's already listed. They figured out it's just as easy to go on your phone and unlist it and sell you the book there in cash. So you got to make sure that you're planning on using the negotiation tactics. That still seemed to be working. I know you said there wasn't a lot of negotiation in there.
There was not a lot of haggling. People were just picking stuff up at price just to, hey, if I don't get it now, I think FOMO is really in play here.
Yeah.
And, and I see it every day at our shop where people are like, oh man, I need this book. All right, I'll come back tomorrow. An hour later, it always happens. An hour later, someone comes in and buys it.
Yeah. It's crazy.
You can't leave it and think about it. You got to pick it up if you really want it.
Yeah.
And,
I mean,
things were going so fast at that point.
That's the craziest part is how fast and in the, there's no more shopping around. That's what we said too. Like if you get into the con and even if it's a 1 day, 6 hour con, you're buying, you better be there ahead of time. You better be there before the dealers and you better be buying within the first 2 hours. Because if you're not, I mean, I think
this con in particular, actually, it was all, on the road vendors. We were the only local shop there.
Oh, wow.
Do you recommend for people who are getting into collecting and they might be, getting their first couple of like wall books to like have an idea of what book you want, have an idea what price you want to pay for it? So if you see at the con there is like you've already decided if it is in this range that you're going to get it, or
I mean, yeah, that's always a good way to approach it for sure.
But there is also that enticement of like, you're like, oh, I know this book, and you see it on the wall and it's like calling out to you, and you're like, well, I came for this other book, but like, damn, that looks good. Oh, all right,
There's a local vendor here where every time he sees me, he jacks up the price. And it's not because I screwed him out of anything. It was always his price, but like I was buying stuff on the cusp of like getting like expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So I was always buying books. So now when he sees me, he's like, "What book you looking for, Kyle?" And I go, "Oh, that one." I said, "What is that? 300?" He's like, "No, that's 400." He's like, I know what that means when you're buying a book. So I guess so it's for years now, and it's hard for me to buy. And he's always got the killer books.
Do you think he was trying to like get you to transition from that medium grade stuff to like putting real money down on comics? Is this kind of way of being like, hey, if you want to enter this world, time to play with the big boys?
And you know what? And that's part of it. True is I've bought some big books from this dude too. So, but I get them before they,
start going.
I pay exactly what he asks. I'm not a barterer. Like with certain people, I don't really barter. I don't really. Come on, man, $50. You know what I mean? I don't do that kind of stuff. The price is the price, because if that was me, that's how I would want it. So I don't really try to barter a whole bunch. So I buy him, but he's like, like I got my Walking Dead 1 from him for a really good price. And that sticks out in his brain because right after I bought it exploded. But I'm like, now though, it's kind of leveled out. So,
Do you think it's insulting? Like if you're going to like a con for like 3 days, you're going to pop in every 3 days, you see a book you want, you ask the price, it's not what you want. So like if it's there at the third day to come back, is there any kind of incentive in doing that? Or because now the eBay sales, it's like, hey man, this is the price. There's no like, I'm trying to unload these books before I leave here. Or is that a strategy?
So I don't know how it is on the West Coast. On the East Coast, the idea used to be there were cons that were after New York Comic Con and after San Diego Comic Con, and they're pretty big cons, not just like small regional cons. Hey, I just want to shout out TY TV real quickly. What's going on, man? He's right about the Kyle situation there too. What's going on, TY? He's over. He does some stuff on Dark Side. Make sure you check out his channel. But here, so this is what we used to do. Like Baltimore is a perfect example of that. Baltimore used to be after NYCC, and guys, that would be the end of a lot of dealers' run. That was the last like pretty big show there was. But in the previous 2 years before it shut down because of COVID, like New York moved after it. So they weren't doing it anymore. On those type of shows, if you can find the shows that are after it, it doesn't even matter if it's on eBay. You can get the books, especially when the season shuts down. Now, it's been different because the season's always open on eBay. But if you talk to any major seller on eBay too, you can see there's certain problems. Like the searching for books has changed over the last month. And people have seen a little bit of a decrease in it. And I'll be honest with you, we're getting sick of listing. I mean, like, we're not getting sick of making money, but like, it's a lot of work to list like all the time, right? And then you got your shipping going on all the time. It is. And I think finally some of people are going to the fact of like, it's not worth, like, if I sell a book for 20% less or 10% less, I'm only vested in this book. It's already a 300% profit margin on it. Like, why am I trying to get that extra 10%? My time's worth more than that. Because now you have to go out there, even to buy collections. It's a rat race, dude. I mean, I'm not even going to get into some of the stuff that's been happening lately, but it's crazy. And it's crazy what these people are doing. And if you think people are buying books, like Ish said earlier, like you have an hour to decide and go try to buy a collection and see what happens. You might have somebody calling the person and texting them on the phone while you're trying to buy the collection and negotiate with it. And they're out negotiating you with 3 or 4 people on the phone nowadays. And there's 3 cars waiting outside and somebody knocking on the door.
Sight unseen at the collection.
Sight unseen.
I mean, we had when Brian and I were buying collections, that's what people would tell us. They'd be like, the time you've been sitting here, we've gotten 4 text messages and an email about this collection. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's one thing.
That was kind of one of the ones we stopped. That's when we realized, okay, we got to stop going through it because we just
you got to find out the keys. How
either
much
we need to shit or get off the pot.
Guy was like, fine, I'll just take the carpet samples and leave. I don't need the collection.
And a gallon of paint.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but I mean, it's now even difficult where if you're not coming in and not even looking to check the books you saw or what was supposed to be in there is there, and you're not just giving them the money and walking out. Like Travis said, sight unseen, which I don't buy stuff like I'm good, man. Like I've been buying for a bunch of years. I'll figure out some way of making money off of it. Plus, people are buying junk now anyways, and I got junk, so whatever. But like you can't I can't do it. I know there's a lot of guys out there trying to break into it, and that's what they're doing. But like I don't know about Ish, but I don't throw that's bad money for me. You know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to go into the red. I like staying in the black. So
hey,
but
can I make an eBay brag?
Go ahead. Yeah, for sure.
Well, I rarely win auctions. I'm so unlucky when it comes to auctions. It's always the last minute bot, always gets me. I won an auction for 1 penny the other night. And it was like my birthday. Anyway, so I just wanted to brag about that.
That's the dream.
1 penny
the
win.
1 penny thing. Yeah.
It was for an autographed NHL rookie card. It was something I really wanted. So I thought that was pretty great. What's that?
That's nice. That's cool. Who was it, Kyle?
Oh, Rasmus Sandin.
There you go.
Rookie for the Maple
Leafs.
Oh,
yeah. I don't know who he is. I don't know nothing about hockey.
This is kind of an interesting thing because we've been doing this a little bit lately, and so some of our other friends is like cheap slabs, no matter what it is. If it costs, like there's slabs out there that you can find on eBay that it costs as much to get it shipped and slabbed and you get a 9.8 out of it. Like I'm talking like $30, $40. I just saw somebody. My man Steve Horn.
If there's a 9.8 slab for less than $40, unless it's like the dumbest comic ever, pick it up.
Yeah, that's it. And they're winning these bids. Steve Horn's great at it, man. Like he's a master. If you're not watching him over at Modern and everything like that on the channel, like you need to listen to that man because he's doing good stuff like that. And he's just bragging. He's bragging and throwing it in my face, which always is a lot of that's always what you want out of a friend.
Brilliant. We need to get him back on here.
Yeah, he wants to come back on. His schedule's a little crazy, but we will. But yeah, I mean that's crazy, dude. That's so crazy, and you just got to find the niche and the way to get at it. So, was there any like books you were besides the She-Hulk stuff? Was there anything else out there that you're like, yeah, okay, I see why that's going for that, or one that you were like, holy crap, why is Gen 13 popping off for 300? You know what I mean?
There wasn't really any like stupid books like that. It was a lot of just good solid Silver Age. There was an AF-15 there. Not a lot of huge keys, but a lot of like good mid-range keys.
Tell me there was Darkhawk #1 though.
I don't. You know what? I don't know.
But was there a lot?
Yeah, but the prices were definitely reflecting the market trends. That is for sure.
That's cool. Hartman's Sports Comic brings up X-Men books. Did you see a lot of X-Men books move? I know the last one I was selling at, we moved a lot. A lot of books that we'd been buying out of 50 cents bin, we were selling for not 50 cents anymore, which was really nice. Did you see a lot of that ish moving? No?
I guess I can't say we didn't have any. We're actually short on early X-Men. Those are very hard to find. We don't get a lot of those coming through our door right now.
But even I'm even talking about the Clement.
But if we do get one, it hits. It goes right away. It sells instantly.
You walk into Ish's store. And they have books up. They have these long glass cases. He's got the kind of store where you walk in and you go, "Fuck, it sucks being poor."
Ish, I haven't been on here before. What's your store?
Got great picks, but just
Fantastic Worlds Comics.
Okay,
it's actually Bill Ponsetti's shop. If you guys know who Bill is,
we need to get him on with you one day.
Definitely, he needs to come on the show. He could regale us with tales of golden and Silver Age goodness.
I was definitely not Ace Hardware either, by the way. Just so you know.
What's that?
Last time I was in there, this guy had brought in his comic collection, and he was an older gentleman, and the shit that he brought in was insane. It was like the silver collection of silver collections. I don't know if you remember that, but it had everything in it. Like it was me and I think Solo and Matt. We look like vultures trying to like not wanting to ask if they were for sale.
Is that the day that Corbin bought the dirty book?
That was when Corbin bartered for the dirty book. Yeah,
The dirty Batman book.
What's that now? What story is this?
He negotiated a pretty nice hardcover Batman book. I forget what it was because it had a little like scuff on it. So that became a topic of one of the episodes. Was
that was dirty.
Corbin negotiating for the dirty book.
Marco was going a different direction. He's like, "What's that book?
What's that book now?" It was a Zenoscope Batman crossover book, and that's good. Yeah, Corbin was supposed to be on tonight, but he had to. There's something came up at the last minute, so
with his family,
so he had to dip. So
no, but if you guys live in the greater Phoenix area, Fantastic Worlds Comics is an awesome shop.
That's sweet.
I agree. I guess
you should.
All right, we didn't do that. I didn't look at the outline today. Kyle, what else is on the outline today?
Let's see. Shout out to Comic Garage.
Yeah, Comic Garage.
Bill is a great guy, which is absolutely true.
Nice.
Oh, it's fun talking to him. Talking to Bill, it's fun. It'll be, if we get him on the show, it'll be awesome.
What are you drinking? White Claw?
I am drinking Trulies.
Speaking, I don't even know what that is. Speaking of that, wow. We do have the drinking game going on. I don't know what it truly is, but that just does not. That sounds like something.
It's a hard seltzer.
It keeps our bodies tight, Marco.
Okay.
Tight.
It keeps me with this awesome physique that I have.
Yeah.
What the heck are you drinking? All right. Anyways, next up, we've got Kyle.
Well, I think everybody's probably tired of hearing this already, but Aaron Taylor Johnson was picked as Kraven the Hunter. What does everybody think about that? I think it's terrible.
So that's official.
It's official. It was, and I was talking about it with Matt on Absolute Geek last night. If you guys want to go over and check us out last night, we were a bunch of fucking goofballs over there last night. I guess by the article that we were talking about last night was they talked to Keanu, said no, Brad Pitt said no, and like Aaron Johnson was like the fifth pick.
What's your beef with Johnson?
I mean, I guess, what third superhero movie is The Charm?
Wait, what?
I just don't think he has the look of Kraven the Hunter. And I'm sure he's gonna bulk up and we're gonna start seeing his fucking new diet exercise program. He's gonna be all like he's pretty swole, but he's gonna be like super swole, and he's gotta get that mustache in, and I've got a pretty good Kraven mustache. Maybe I should play it instead, but
I think they'll get the look. I think you can turn him into Kraven the Hunter.
You think so?
Yeah,
absolutely. Look at this guy. Yes, this guy. Yes,
he's a decent actor.
He's also kind of got. He's a
decent superhero movie actor at the same time while being.
Hey, dude, remember? They turned Evans into Captain America, bro. Like
they did.
Dude,
but I mean, it's
Marvel. They're good.
Quicksilver.
Maybe he should avoid his Quicksilver accent. Maybe he should steer away from that.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. Kraven's going to have accent, no?
He's going to have something, yeah. He can't be like, what are you talking about? I'm Kraven the Hunter here.
I was surprised to find out this actor's British. I always thought he was American.
He's married to like a woman who's like 20 years older than him, too. It's kind of weird.
I think a lot older than that. In her 70s or something.
Yeah.
Wait, that dude's married to a 70-year-old?
Yeah,
he's unusual.
Different folks, different strokes, bro. What the? Okay.
Yeah.
She's in the money.
Someone commented that he's a vanilla choice. Yeah, it's not a big hot name, I guess. It's not Keanu. I'm glad it's not Brad Pitt, to be honest.
I'm really just excited to see this character hit the screen. I think Kraven's such a fun character.
Like we were talking about last night, like when you see Kraven the Hunter, who do you want to see him fight?
Well, isn't the story going to be he puts together the Sinister Six?
Yes, that's what the Sinister Six is stuck in this timeline, and but you want to see.
They haven't ever screwed those characters up before. I mean, you're worried about who they cast for Kraven. Okay, you give me a good Doc Ock someday. Give me a Doc Ock.
battling Spider-Man. That's what bums me out.
Did Leftover just call this guy something easy on the eyes?
I mean,
all right.
I mean, there's a sense of like, if you were gonna do like a straight up adaptation, like the seminal like Kraven's Last Hunt, right, where he takes the mantle of Spider-Man, and it's just this much more brutal portrayal of Spider-Man as Kraven's taking that. I don't know about introducing him as a gray character at the beginning. I kind of just want him to be just like pure villain in like a superhero movie, not like a Venom thing where we're taking the villain and kind of graying him up and putting him in there.
I just want to hit that character up. Can you?
I mean, is it his title? The movie is it like Kraven? The movie's called Kraven.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. That it's. I don't even know if there's going to be a superhero in the movie.
No,
then you have to gray him up because
I think it's called Kraven the Hunter. No, you don't have to gray him up at all. You can go. You can't.
There's going to be an animal rights message in there. You know it.
Either way, I have trust in what Marvel does, and you could do.
It's not Marvel, it's Sony.
Oh yeah, I don't have any trust in Sony.
That's right.
And I think the new Spider-Man movie is they're introducing the Sinister Six.
Yeah, it's interesting. Do you think they're going to make him like an eco warrior? Because
he's gonna wrap himself around trees.
I do.
Well, I guess maybe the villain starts off as a villain because he hunts, big game animals. Who knows?
Yeah, everybody just saw that.
That's enough to establish him. This guy's bad.
Yeah, I
wasn't thinking. Elephants.
So it's going to be about him getting his. He's going to get his license to hunt, and he's going to be hunting quail for an hour and a half. Quail.
Yeah. So I was really hyped about it, and then everybody just saw my heart break because I forgot the Sony thing. That sucks.
Marvel.
That sucks.
There's something always intriguing. Like, you guys remember, like in high school, everyone has to read that short story, "The Most Dangerous Game," where the guy gets trapped on the island and then he gets hunted.
Some form of it, or you're the one with the kids. Yeah.
Yeah, and so that story is
Van Damme classic.
Yeah. So or what's the Ice-T one they made in the '90s? There's a movie, Surviving the Game, movie, and so. That has always intrigued me. I think when you're like a kid and someone's like, wait a minute, they're going to hunt people. What? Like that idea to me still has so much, like you could do so much with that idea of just someone hunting the most dangerous game. And so Kraven has always been that character to me. That's just like, what a cool character. Like he just wants a challenge and he'll go anywhere in the world. And it's kind of like a Predator thing, right? That's what Predator, the creature is. Kraven versus Predator.
Kraven versus the Predator.
Who's got Predator? What studio? Sony? Please say Sony.
No, Marvel. Disney and Marvel bought them along with Alien, but now they're getting sued for Predator. So I don't know if you guys noticed, we did not get any of the Predator variant covers that were supposed to come out last month. They went ahead and canceled all the Predator titles because the original screenwriters are suing Disney.
Wasn't that a Fox property? Didn't they get it in the merger?
Yep.
So
you know how they have the Alien comic coming out, right? They're at issue number 3 right now.
Oh yeah,
they were going to do the same with Predator, but now that's all. Who knows what's going to happen?
Because they're doing Alien versus Kraven the Hunter.
I would watch that.
I don't know, man.
Who's going to be Kraven's love interest? I mean, if he's getting his own title of his movie, they're going to throw a love interest in that.
Do you see? I literally have lost.
Maybe it's the actor's real wife.
As soon as somebody said Sony, I was like, I'm out. Like I'm done. Like,
an old bat? Is that the case? That's the love interest.
He's gonna hunt down a tiger that he makes love to, and that's how he's gonna get that's gonna be his love interest is gonna be around his neck for the rest of the scene.
I'll tell you what, that movie Ghost in the Darkness with Michael Douglas and Val Kilmer back in the 90s. People sleep on that movie. That's a good one.
That's an underrated movie.
Yeah.
Wait, what movie?
It's called Ghost in the Darkness. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Where the lions are eating people.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Don't worry though. Marco trusts Marvel.
I trust Marvel. I don't trust Sony. That's two different things. Like I trust Marvel, but like Sony, man, you got some bad movies out there. Like literally, you need Marvel to hold your hand to make a halfway decent movie, and even on that, you try to screw it up a lot of times. In my opinion, though, different strokes, different folks. I mean, you could like, I don't know, DC books or something. Who knows? There's always something for somebody. Yes.
That's just that, but when you think of a movie with Kraven Hunter, you want it to be Spider-Man.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, you really do.
Overall, in the story, like.
Well, I mean, I don't mind if they would set it up because it is kind of cool and how they did the annual with the Sinister Six. I can see Sinister Six. I could see something like that occurring, but you do eventually. You want the hunt, like that's what you want it to lead into. With that being said, like, is that what we're gonna do? We're gonna have Blue Eyes McGee over there hunting down Toby. That's not who's the kid that they have now playing Spider-Man.
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland. That's what we're gonna have. Two English guys.
I would just rather than create a character from whole cloth that's like this big game hunter. Why does it have to be Kraven? I'd go see a movie where someone goes in the Amazon and tries to hunt some super dangerous alpha predator. He doesn't have to be wearing like a lion skin and call himself Kraven.
No, but what I'm saying, if you do the Sinister Six thing, you can get the backstory of how they recruit them and all that type of stuff. And I'm sorry, I'm also putting together slides for our fans.
But that begs the question: did they recast Vulture, or is this kind of where Sony and MCU cross over a little?
I don't. That's what I'm saying. Like, are you gonna let the MCU and Marvel have a hand in it?
Do they bring the Rhino back from ASM Part 2?
Oh,
Paul Giamatti.
They're gonna make it Jumanji.
That's what
Paul Giamatti.
I mean, that's what. As soon as you said Sony, this is another nightmares I had. And Fox as Electro, like that's what we're doing. Like, no, I'm good. I'm glad. I'm glad the last time I sold those books, I sold them for the price I got them because, like, that's if that's what we're doing here, I'm out. I'm out on it, dude. I'm out. So no, I'm disappointed now. Disappointed. I give up. And what are you? Hey, what is? Hey, wait. Where's Figures? What was he listening to the back call? No, last night it was 100 proof on the rocks. Thank you very much. Tonight it is. I don't know, whatever this is right here. A little bit of Makers, the mint julep stuff that I like. I don't know what the proof is.
Ooh,
Kyle and I are drinking seltzer because since we heard the Kraven announcement, we're trying to get in shape for the Kraven Halloween costumes that are going to be coming out next October.
100 calories, man. I'm going to be in shape in no time.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know, man. It could listen. I'd still watch it over a Snyder cut. So there's that. I mean, there's that.
You're lucky you're the other co-host.
Mm-hmm. Like I said earlier, I just showed up one day and I still haven't left yet. Eventually, I'll be out of here.
What up, Gonzo?
Gonzo too.
She took a weird turn there.
What? I'm just joking. Gonzo's good. Yeah, I was just joking. Gonzo's good. I'm trying. Well, they're sending me pictures because they want to enter the top 5 for Kirby, and nobody sends it ahead of time. We got 200 votes. You guys all wanted Kirby, and then nobody sends me anything till like while we're on the show here, which I do appreciate. Though we really do like everybody in the chat, the whole family that we got out there, all of our people, Stick Boy, we got Izzy out there, we got, of course, Gonzo, man. Sorry you couldn't make it tonight, but he'll be regular coming back on. Scott finally showed up. Dwayne, what's going on, brother? Figures, everybody else. It's really cool. I don't know, guys. Give a thumbs up or thumbs down, deciding which one you think. Do you think Sony's going to be able to hang out with Kraven, or do you think we're going to get Kraven the tree hugger? By the way, where's Eric? Eric, if you're in the chat, I want that. You send that out. You send Eric. If you do the tree hugger thing, send it to me. We'll post that real quickly. Then we'll make it a shirt. Okay?
Kraven the
tree hugger. Eric, you hear me?
That would be awesome.
Speaking of Eric sent me something a little bit interesting earlier. He asked me another great question. Let's see what you boys think about this. Supposedly, the rumor is, out of the cat pee that is PGX, that they are now going to, for like $50, you just, instead of buying comics on the rack that Wednesday when it comes out.
Crazy IT guy.
Oh, Jesus.
You're welcome.
No, please no. But anyways, what Eric was saying was that PGX now is they're supposed to 9/8 Wednesday. The books that come out on Wednesday, you're going to get within a week. You're going to get a PGX 9/8 already graded in a slab book in your house. Do you think? I'm not even asking about your opinion if you think it's going to smell like cat pee or not. I'm really asking you, do you think this is a good idea? And then Eric's question, do you think CBCS is going to file suit? Which is more.
I actually think it's genius, especially for the hot book of the week. It's genius to already offer 9.8s instantly.
Yeah, but they're gonna, I mean,
it's you have to guarantee that though.
Yeah, PGX will guarantee
selling. I mean,
Ish just said if you see a 9.8, under $40, pick it up. So they're using that kind of same philosophy there. Yeah, you know.
So this is the only
Is
thing
that going to water down Is that going to water down your opinion of a 9.8 though? Like,
we all know 9.8.
No, PGX 9.8.
9.8.
Yeah, it's
that's what I was gonna say.
And it also depends on the title. If it's the latest My Little Pony at a 9.8, you know,
like if it was the new issue of Stray Dogs, like horror cover 9.8.
If it's a cool comic,
yeah, I'll do it for $40. Yeah, just to have it something to hang on. The problem,
CGC already offers this through Diamond, not on every comic, major comics like the Venom upcoming. And then, but they can only guarantee,
but it's $80. But it's also $80. $80,
and you can order 10 of them and not ever get a single one.
Yeah,
they allocate everything, but they can only guarantee 9.6. So,
I mean,
PGX is
because it's PGX, bro.
I guess so.
I'm also allergic to cat.
I thought you were going to say every Wednesday submit a book and they'll 9.8 no matter what.
No, it's like every Wednesday they're saying whatever book you order through them. Like if you have a pull list, they're going to give you a 9.8 of that book.
I think it's genius.
But a pull list through PGX?
I mean, that's like this, like that would be that's not what it is, but yeah, like it's not a pull list, but you like, let's say you go like,
next Wednesday one. Yeah.
Let's say this week you're like, hey, Heroes number 4, I want that in a 9.8. You send in your order. By Wednesday, they ship you out a 9.8 of that book. Because you're getting your shipments on Tuesday. Yeah, you're getting shipments in on Tuesday. They're already slabbing it.
I think it's genius. Like, I mean, and they're getting brand new books, so the
Figures knows what I'm talking
them
about.
Actually, being 9.8s are going to be.
Yeah, they have to pull anything that's a candidate for 9.8 if they even get one.
Okay, so this is my man TY, and he's new to some of this comic book stuff, so I'm going to explain this. It doesn't sound like a bad idea. The problem is the place we're talking about isn't that reputable as far as like their grading system.
But they have badass case. Their cases are really nice.
Their cases are really cool. I mean, it is.
You're
but
talking about PGX slabs?
Yeah.
I gotta disagree. I think hands down, they're absolutely the worst.
The way they look, not how strong they are.
The way they feel, they're flimsy. Like I could just crack it over my knee and.
Yeah, but CGC moved to that flimsier
the new
case
one.
too.
I thought the new PGX ones, man, they were built like a tank.
I don't know. I'm allergic to cats, so I just don't touch PGX cases. Like
to use the Craven the Hunter analogy, I feel that this is like hunting big game within like a game ward where they're tying the rhino down and they give you a gun and you shoot them. Half the fun of collecting is to like find it, send it in, and doing all that stuff. It kind of takes some of the
that is the biggest
excitement out of it.
I would much rather.
That's also feeding the speculator market for sure.
Every day of the week than hope and pray that my 9.8s, that my books made it through the mail, made it through their shit, and that it was a 9.8. Just knowing, you know what, I'm guaranteed a 9.8.
Kyle wants that comic book hunting blind. He just wants a feed. Just go up there.
I want to be like the rich people and go to where it's that's what the point of it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like they went and captured a endangered species for me, and I got to shoot it on this private preserve. Like it was set up for me. That's how I wanted.
They brought it on a dinner plate for you.
Yes.
Kicking.
I mean, isn't that part of it? Like part of the whole comic book thing or the collectible thing and everything else. And TY can explain this too, because he does a lot of toys. Like if you don't watch him or Gonzo and Gonzo's Toy Hunt, they go out there and they hunt down toys and they'll hunt down comics. And part of it is the thrill of the hunt to find like, oh crap, I even checked the computer. I did this or that, but look what I found in the wrong section, or look what I found at this con, or look at this cool item that
maybe I should get this pressed before I send it in.
But I'll tell you this, like TY doesn't do that. Like Ty, for him, he's a true collector, and it's amazing to watch him because, like, and Ish will probably remember this too. There was a point where we were all just collectors, right? Like Kyle's a collector too, and there's times where I hear Kyle talk, and I was like, "Damn, man, I really like." It's one thing when you're just sitting here going, like, "Yeah, I had that book, or I had 3 of those, or whatever," but like that, those times where those books, like, you have to start doing weird stuff, like, "Oh, let's collect Kirby covers that are 1.0 that have manufactured staples in them." Like that's what we start hunting for, because you're just getting to this weird point where it's like you miss that crap. Like, I mean, I was collecting 2099 magazine covers between 89 and 104 that had Judge Dredd on them. Like,
Yeah, you want the
That's
challenge.
crazy stuff. Like,
Yeah.
it's just weird things to collect, man. But like, it's nice to see these people out there just loving it and enjoying it and being like, hey, man, I think this is cool as hell. What is it? And I think something like PGX where they're doing that is a little bit of a disservice. And if CBG, and I don't think Eric's wrong. I think CBCS, I know a lot of people are saying we're going to send our books there. It's great. Go ahead, dude. Have fun, man. Like, do it. I'll also say this. There's been a lot of problems with them too, and some of the gimmicks they've been doing over there. So, it is what it is. If they do the 9/8 thing, Ish is right. This isn't a new concept. This is something that CGC. It is $79.99, right, Ish? Is that what it is typically? Yeah, $79.99. This isn't something.
If they did it for, like
We
I
have
said,
yet to ever get
$49, it would be gangbusters.
$40, yeah. $40.
Gangbusters.
Yeah, Ish, you've been. Yeah, I saw
we've
one.
ordered that. We order them all the time. We never ever get them in. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I've seen one before actually come out, so I feel you on that point. And I didn't even get it. Somebody else had sent me a picture and said I finally got one. So, but there you go. So that is that. I don't know, man. I'm not doing that. I'm staying away from them. Oh crud! I forgot which way these are supposed to go.
The first comic that I had two comics the first time I ever thought about grading a comic. Like I finally I broke my, all comics have to be free of their tomb. Like when I decided, when I decided I really want to get a book graded, I had it down to 2 books.
Okay.
I had it down to a Spider-Man 300, which I think I've showed it off before, but
yeah,
I had it signed by Stan Lee and McFarlane.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had Walking Dead 19 signed by Kirkman and Tony Moore.
Yeah, Tony
Moore.
I
was like, okay, I knew I couldn't send it to CGC because I knew it would get like that green label that it gets, with name written on cover. And
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so the first company that I had contacted, because I think this was right before CGC said they would do it, was PGX was the only one that would authenticate signatures.
Yeah, them and CBCS do the digital authentication.
Yeah, but it was before CBCS. PGX was the first one to do it.
They were the first one to do it. So I emailed, and this was the fastest email I ever got back. But they were like, yeah, go ahead and send it in. And I didn't know that at the time, I didn't know that they graded in the basement of a house. And it was just this. And I was like, and it's cheap. See, I mean, PGX is cheap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and I was like,
that's what they sell on.
I ended up, a friend of mine who does Comic Collector's Choice.
Good sick boy.
He was a CBCS representative. He was like, hold off a little bit. They're going to be doing that. And I was like, okay. So I waited, and I ended up giving them graded. But that PGX was the first one that I contacted about it, and it was cheap. I was going to send my books in. I didn't, though. Everybody else.
And I mean, dude, this is the thing, though. Go with whoever you want to. I just want just do a little bit of research on it. You can figure it out real quickly. And the histories aren't that hard to figure out between the companies.
And there's 4 now.
Oh yeah,
4,
you can get to
4 players in the game.
Yeah, go ahead. Talk about that issue real quick.
About
the 4th player.
Okay, well, yeah, I guess the new one's called Expert Grading Services. Shout out to them. I have no connection to them whatsoever, but
it's EGC.
Yeah, EGC, Expert. And for a while, I thought it was Executive Grading Services. It's Expert Grading.
As Ish finds out after this, like they use child labor to bind their things. Like, oh no, don't shut out, don't shut out.
But I don't know. Yeah, I came across them. I've seen their website, and I've actually at the Scottsdale Comic Con got to actually see their slabs, and I got to say I was pretty impressed with the slab itself. They were just very solid, and I like that they were thin. They were thin enough that you could really pack them into a box. Interesting way they do the labels.
Like a regular short box?
Yeah. I mean, the dimensions are the same as the others, but they're just way thinner.
I do like Ish,
but
coming.
it's
I can
not
see him being like,
sacrifices any sturdiness.
"Ooh, look at that sexy slab on that
It was
book.
actually
Look at that
I called my
sexy
buddy over.
slab.
We both held them. We were like, ooh, ah. And then we asked the vendor, we were like, did you buy these slabs or these comics that you sent to that service? And they said that that's what they did. They tried them out. They sent them in. I guess they have the fastest turnaround in the out of all four.
Yeah, nobody knows about them yet.
Yeah, well, that's a reason. And that one vendor said, he was impressed by the service and their customer service. And
I mean, how strict did he say he thought their grading was?
He thought it was pretty. He did not complain about the grade.
That means he had good grades on it. What is it called again?
EG Executive Grading Services.
These
They
people
just launched their YouTube
services.
site, and I guess the owner, CEO, head grader, I think his name's Tony, and he talks in the video. And I don't know. I think they're worth checking out. I'm seriously considering sending some books, and nothing big, but actually some books where I'd like the label customized to match the book, just for aesthetic purposes.
Trial run too with them.
Yeah, just as an alternative, But I do say the slabs looked really good. Yeah, there you go. And you can see how the labels kind of can match the comic.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Give it an extra little punch. Yeah.
We're going to be talking about Kirby covers later, and like the colors and that are so important that you don't want to like some shitty looking slab to ruin the pop of it.
And now they'll also do the traditional blue and yellow if that's what you want. If you want to be consistent with the other companies.
So it says it's EGS. Sorry guys, I said C. I don't know why I can't fucking spell tonight. EGS has partnered with Comic Skin. So Comic Skins, those are like the ones that like you could put them in and like clip it in, right?
There's like a hinge on the bottom. So it's not two pieces, it's one piece attached, I believe. And then they snap it shut like that, and then they put seals on the outside.
So it says our cases are set apart from other service providers in that they provide security and durability. They're as strong and secure as any other case on the market, but also being thin and lightweight, like you were saying. Huh. There you go. We are providing you.
It sounds like you're talking about condoms.
From harmful UV rays. So that's kind of cool. So that means 99% of UV rays do not pass through their protective material.
And that's I believe they're the only slab that can claim that.
Can you get it in non-spermicidal if you're allergic?
Yes. So they're also in Florida.
Yep.
So I wonder if someone left like CGC.
If it's someone, starting their own.
Raw grading, $10 a book.
The prices are reasonable, and they guarantee the 21-day turnaround.
Hartman Sports Comics. Why do we need to be careful with this one? So I mean, expert certified choice, 20 books, $25 for silver and gold. So they're doing 14-day business turnaround. So
HGA has major issues with stuff, and they're doing the same thing. I'm not sure I get that.
Is that Halo?
Star Trooper said, I've been wanting thinner slabs for years. I'm telling you, these slabs are remarkably thin, yet sturdy.
I'm going to have to, you know what? I think we're going to submit a comic.
Why don't we submit a comic and see what they look like? We'll test them here.
Mm-hmm.
I bid on one on eBay. It was a Venom variant with Null wearing the Infinity Gauntlet. It was a 9.8. Of course, I lost the auction, as I always do, but
it looks, I
was like, that's my first EGS book. Didn't happen.
It looks a lot like, if you go on the PGX website, it looks a lot the same.
It does look a lot like PGX.
The one thing in their submission
How much is it? How much is it?
You have to kind of give a grade too, so you kind of got to know what you're doing to begin with.
Wait, what? All right, hey, you know what? How much?
See, one of the drop downs I can't see on the
screen. You missed that.
Yeah, I did. How much is it? Let's do that. I think let's not do it live here. Let's not me smudge a company unless we've used them before, like PG Piss.
So
But
it looks like it's $10 for raw grading.
no, I'm talking about like let's get a slab so we can check out their slabs.
I'm gonna send. You know what? Let's do this. I'm gonna send. I will send the book I just got from Hive.
Excellent.
I'll do the.
Nice.
You know what? I'll send this one to them, and I'll do.
Well, that's the one you've been slamming around, so it's no better than a 9.6 at this point. You keep fingerprinting it, you press it, you keep touching it, you just lick. Okay, so we know what the grade is about.
So we know it's going to come back a 9.6. So what I'll do is I'll package it up.
Do you guys think like a new grading service is more apt to hand out some 9.8s just to get customers happy and resubmitting stuff?
Or should I do
Good point.
Unicorn?
Oh, you should do Unicorn. Unicorn is actually a valuable book. I don't know. Yeah, do Unicorn. I agree. Do Unicorn.
So that's what I'll do. I'll send a couple books out. I'll get them graded. And
Yeah, Scott got it. Unicorn. He was calling it. This is why I love Dwayne, man. Dwayne's got to come on sometime. Dude, I think Unicorn. Yeah, let's see. Thing was that, hey, leftover too. Like, they got it, bro. They know us too well. All right, so let's do that. We'll submit some books. We'll see what they turn out to be. That's crazy. What I think is I think they all do it. I've seen it come out. I exclusively use CGC because the profit margin's been the best forever on them. I've had zero complaints. I didn't get one of the warp books when they had their warp problems. You know, I've been lucky enough that like when the transitional problems through there were, I did have an issue with some other company where you could slide out. I was a victim of the slide out of the grading and the re-put in.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, you know, and that's not why I stayed away from them. I just, you know, it'd always been the profit margin thing with CGC anyways. Got some other type of inside stuff. Like there was the micro trimming and the guy who knew about it ended up going over to a different company and like, okay, well, dude, like, how are you the head grader there when you let all that micro trimming go? Like, I don't understand that. So like, you know, but with that being said, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. If you feel comfortable, and by the way, the margin, I mean, you used to, what was it? A 20% margin was the difference. It used to be between CGC and anybody else. And now I think the margin's closed. I don't think there's so many.
I think the gap's closing a little. Yeah.
There's so many new people coming into it that I don't think they know. Like, I don't think that they know the history. You know, that's the weird thing about comics too. I don't think people know the history of comics so much, and I don't think it matters to them. You know, I always get criticized by some people, especially some newer people, even on this channel, that they're always like, why do you care so much? And I was like, well, it's the history of it. It's like the whole time thing and everything like that. And they're like, yeah, but nobody knows about it. We don't know about it. What are you talking about? And it's like, oh, I get it. You don't care because you don't know. And like, should we care as much too? I mean, we get set in our ways, so it is what it is. But
because it can't be what it's not.
Oh, you're great. Thanks. Welcome back.
Dude, it would be awesome if I got a Unicorn 10. Woo, he's so cool.
Yeah, submit it in there and tell them you think that book's a 10 and see what happens. I want you to submit like all types of books. I will say this. So I really wasn't trying to
staple and me put it back in and see what we get.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to knock PGX either, but then I went to their site to go see if that story was true or not. And I started looking at their Facebook page and some of the stuff they graded. And I was like, I will always criticize people that pick up the book like this off the shelf and go like, yep, looks like a 9.8. But I saw some stuff on there and I was like, that's not a 9.8. Like that, there's spine ticks. Like you can honestly see the whole ed's messed up. There's a portion and it's not like it's bad, dude. Like they're promoting those books and I'm like, you can't, whatever. So let's submit those books. Let's see what happens. I think it's a bad idea. I really do. But give us the thumbs up so that we can waste money.
Bad idea.
I like bad ideas. How do we know till we go, right? All the people in chat want it. We got 73 in here right now. I think it's
a good idea, Kyle.
Yeah.
I mean, what's it going to hurt?
You're not selling the unicorn book. You're not selling the unicorn book. You're never going to try and make a profit off of it. I mean, maybe if you get it and it turns out that that's a hot topic, we can then sell it and you can get a new green screen. So
you can get custom labels. It's showing. It's kind of
so they'll do. You can choose your color, and then you can do an extra customization where they'll do artwork that matches the cover.
So let me reshare this real quick.
I'm thinking of cotton candy pink for you.
This is what I love, Joe. Of course we will, Joe. What else do we do? I went to Ace Hardware store today that was selling comics. We do this so you don't have to. That's like the whole point of MCM is we make the mistakes so you don't have to.
So like, okay, it goes right here. I'll, title, I do like Unicorn, issue number 1, condition, fucking mint.
Minty fresh.
Grading.
Like a cup of scope.
So it says like raw basic, choice modern, choice silver, choice gold, premium modern.
How much is this going to run us?
I don't know. I want to know
Can
what
we call
premium modern is.
Can we call up Jesus and Comic Book Jesus and ask him if they can front us the money if the channel can just
Like, what does ultimate modern mean? Like, does that mean it's a badass book or a hot key?
Should I call Dino and see like if we can get 1,000? Let me call Dino real quick.
Yeah, let's get the fucking CEO on the phone right now.
That's your CEO. Let me see what he's got over here.
So we'll do pressing, no. Signature, no. Pre-screen, no. I'm just gonna get it fucking graded. Now it says
pre-screen for 10.
There's some grading company. I don't know if you're watching the show, but like,
here we go.
You just float us like 1,000 to grade some book called Unicorn.
Hold on.
Unicorn.
So also
no, it's a comic book about unicorn, about some girl with a unicorn.
So it's looking like
a story about a girl and a unicorn.
EGS.
So it's looking like I don't know what
probably only like a couple of $100.
So if I do choice modern, it's $20.
No, it's a good idea. Yeah, the chat thinks it's a great idea. I think it's special.
So it's looking like if it looks like I get to pick the condition that it's in.
No, I'll probably submit next one. All right, cool. All right, talk to you.
I'll be honest. I'll go with near mint, and let's see.
Hey, I wasn't muted. Oh, hey, sorry about that. Dino says it's approved. The channel is going to front us the money to do it. So let's.
So I got unicorn.
Unicorn. He did have questions about a girl and a unicorn thing, and then he just said, "Don't worry about it."
Fair market value. We'll do it at $300.
We're really doing this. Are you going to enter in your credit card number too at this point?
I'm not going to do it on the air. Sorry, guys. I love you, but not that much. And then I'm going to do
mob rules. Yes. Yeah, this is what's going on at this point. The mob does rule. It has gone away. Oh, look at this. Hey, if you do it live, 25 super chat. Can we somehow hide the credit card number?
The only part is, I can't. I don't want to put my credit card in.
Can you move your thing a little bit off the screen, like so it's only halfway on there?
Yeah. Use Dino's. No, this is why they want.
You'd have to.
Dino's not going to get. No, they're not going to use that.
Yeah, we need to use the Tales from the Flipside black card.
No, he said it was good. He said he just phoned me. I said we'll work it out, but yeah, I don't think we're going to use the Tales.
Or should I do that, or should I do one of these ones?
No, you got to do Unicorn at this point, right? Chat.
I'm doing it. It's already on there. I was going to do 2 books.
Also submit a beater. Yes. Yes. That's a great idea. Submit a beater and have them press and clean. This is what we're doing, guys. Like, this is it. We're on.
I'm gonna have to go. I'll have to look through,
dude.
But I will. Let's see.
Oh no! Oh, this is rotten. This is way rotten. But you know what we should do? We should sign the inside of a book real quickly, like Timmy Tater Tots or Comic Timmy Toms or something like that.
No, I don't want to set them up for failure.
I don't want to set them up either, but I want to see if they mark it as like there's writing inside of the book. I don't want to set them up for failure. I just want to see like. I mean, I'm not saying we should micro trim some books or anything like that, or add some, touch a book or something like that.
Let me see. Good. Do I have a good?
Do you have one of those? I'll call Steve Horton and I'll ask him for one that's got a SIG on the inside, and we'll submit that too, probably. How much is shipping on this? This is the thing.
Who cares?
I don't, because I don't submit under 50 because like I'm cheap and like I hate the shipping. I hate the insurance and shipping. It's so bloody expensive with this.
So I want to do Ice Cream Man.
Ice Cream Man. Can we make a comic? Can we have a viewer make a comic, and then we could submit the comic that the viewer makes?
I don't know. We'll have to see.
Well, let's do this test run. So do the ice cream. This is why you wanted to do it. We've got 82 in here. It's going crazy. Make sure you give us a thumbs up or whatever, or submit your opinion on if this is a good idea. Apparently, they think this is a good idea. I think this is also like Marvel trolling everybody. I think this is the chat trolling us. But hey, why else are we here?
What? It's all in good fun. What is it going to cost me? Like $50?
$50. Okay. So, oh man, are you gonna break another? Oh yes, Blake. This might be the next thing. We should probably do. I actually have. You know what I have? I've got a Rhino that came back green label because I am notorious for not counting pages, and the ad page is missing. We should crack that and resubmit it. What was it 41 or whatever? Yeah, we should crack it. Should we crack that and resubmit it and see what they do with it? I mean, that's not being dishonest, right? Like, I mean, it is what it is. Dwayne Scott just gave us $20.
Okay, so we're gonna do an ice cream man.
We're submitting it, Dwayne. Thank you, brother.
Well, this is it. We're gonna do.
It's done. It's on.
This motherfucker is near me.
That's Star Trooper. That's what I'm gonna do. I got. Where's that? Oh, what the prices?
We're gonna do Choice Modern.
I'm asking JJ Maxwell what's going on with the magazine grading at CGC. He commented it's gotten absolutely ridiculous. So I'm just kind of curious.
You want me to call him up too? He's on the Dark Side show. Check out Tales from the Dark Side tomorrow night. No matter how long this one goes, you know I show up for it every week. Rain, shine, whatever. You can see my man JJ Maxwell. We do some crazy stuff over there. Jen, my boy Pete, Renovision, check it out. Sometimes we have TY from TY TV, Gonzo. We get the whole crew. You know we love everybody. Yeah, what do we got, JJ? You can hit me in the personal.
Okay, so I got Unicorn number 1, and I got Ice Cream Man 24.
Nice.
Is that good? Everybody, we're okay. This is what we'll do. I will pull out some Silver Age books for next week, and we'll submit this. Next week, am I going to be on? That's not the 19th. That's the last. I got to take a little vacation for 1 week.
You'll be on. It's
okay. So we'll do this here.
I could always send in like a.
No. I'll pull out some spider. Okay. Hold on. Let me see what I got in the back closet over here. Let me see what I pull some out.
Dude, that's what I was thinking about. Yeah, like it would be cool to a first appearance and see.
You guys want something like that, or do you want something like a Spider-Man book? What are you guys thinking? What are we thinking here?
Unicorn number 1, the first appearance of the Unicorn.
I think the Unicorn book's a good book. Some Swamp Thing. What's in the shoebox?
So what I'll do is.
Oh yeah, that's not a bad book. I like that book.
We'll do it to Modern Comic Mayhem at gmail.com.
Okay, good stuff. Do it, dude. Can we?
That'd be great if we got these back by obviously not next episode, but the one after.
Holy fuck! Cool. I can use PayPal.
Yeah, nice. Once again, everybody give a big shout out to Dwayne. Dwayne's hooking it up. We're not even going to have to use the company AMAX. We're just going to somehow talk to them about where all the money goes.
$61.
$61 for 2 books. Are you kidding?
So it's $40 for 2 books, $15 for shipping, and $6 for insurance.
All right, then. Let's go. You need that stick boy. Do you need that ASM? I can probably make that work.
Spider-Man. I should have him crack my Spider-Man. No, I'm just joking.
Maybe we'll play a game poll.
Notes and requests.
Notes and requests. Say, I would like everything to be a 9.8. 9.9 if you can. Yeah, it's not bad. You're right. Yeah, for the magazines, that's what JJ's saying. For those mags, it's like double what the comics are. I know, but
it's an extra long wait.
Dude, I love all the suckers that are leaving CGC, so I hope enough of them move. So that
I wrote, please grade these at a 9.9.
You didn't put that, did you?
And we'll put you on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell him if any comic submitted by the show gets a 9.9, he can always come on the show to hype his site.
Yeah, tell him to come on. Say we're this is by the Who is this? What's this guy's name? Is this
Tony
somebody?
something.
Oh, nobody we know. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. The price increase is killer.
Apart the rest of this, I'm gonna have to do.
Just trust us. I promise. You know us. We'll do. Believe us. We're gonna do it.
I don't mind sending them out.
Dude, Dwayne, he thumps the books. Did you see his meat knuckles are like crushing the book every time and he flaps it like it's a fan in a church, bro. They're not coming back. No, sir. No, thank you, but no.
So what I'll do is I'm really doing it. I love you guys, but there's some information on here that I have to.
Let's all bankrupt Kyle real quickly. Kyle, your kid just graduated from high school. You're going to pay for college soon. No, give us your card, and we're going to bankrupt you and go on a shopping spree, and we'll buy a book. Maybe one time we should. If it wouldn't get me in trouble, I'd go out there and snipe some books. We could try to snipe stuff on eBay. Maybe we can work that out. I'll talk to some people. We should try that idea too. Man, it's great to have summertime. That's all I'm going to say because I drink a lot more and the ideas keep flowing. Thank you again, Dwayne Scott. We really do appreciate it. You are the man. We appreciate you. We appreciate the whole chat. We appreciate everybody helping us out here. All right. I think that's enough of.
Okay, I will finish this. And what I'll do is I'll do this off so I can put in my address and everything, and I'll do it.
All right. Pull it down from the screen before you put your stuff in, okay?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop sharing.
Yeah, stop sharing. There you go.
But I'll definitely do it. I'm a man of my word. I will show you the receipt. I'll bring it up when I get my confirmation email.
I don't think anybody's doubting you're submitting unicorn, dude. Like, what are we kidding me? So what's it, $60 total? Something like that?
It's $61
total for both books.
Mm-hmm. Both books. That's both books. Shipping and insurance, $61.
That's a good deal.
Does it have a time? I must have missed the time thing. I'm sorry. I was taking pictures of pizza slices. Was there a time when this looks like it's going to be turnaround time?
It said.
Where's Harvard?
It said 21 day, but then on like the basic was a 14-day turnaround. So I imagine.
Yeah. So hopefully the next
and 21.
Can we speed pass it? Can we send it speed pass? I'm willing to throw in another 20 if we can send it speed. Like I'm willing to get it back by next week any way possible if we can.
Someone commented the Ace Hardware could be grading comics. Mm-hmm. They can put together a press. They can make some presses with all the tools they have.
I don't see anywhere that says like a fast pass or anything. I just see pre-screen for grades, which is an additional 5. It says if no pass 5. Somewhere there's a. Let me look because if there's a fast pass, I'm paying for it.
Well, I'm in. I'll send you a card with some money in it. I mean, I'll just send you a birthday card. I'll send you. I can't say that anymore because the audits are coming too fast nowadays. Okay. Jesus, Ed. I said something a couple weeks ago and I got a notification in the mail. Whoever you are, you're a dirty person. Okay, let's talk while he's finishing that off. What is our next thing? We've gone over an hour and I don't even think we've gotten to a legitimate topic. I think we've just been running off the air and submitting books because we think it's funny.
So I think this is a good part for Travis to introduce what he would like to talk about.
Good.
Oh, yeah. I don't know too much about comic book grading, but I do know a lot about traveling. And that's what I want to talk to you boys about today. Mm-hmm. The summer season is coming up, as Marco said. Time to drink, time to relax, time to get out there. The world is starting to open up a little bit in places, and maybe not this summer, but maybe you're planning for a trip next summer. Maybe you're sick of being cooped up and you want to start projecting out. You've been saving money. You haven't been going anywhere. It's time to splurge. I am a traveler. I travel different places, and one of the things that I do when I travel different places is I always try to figure out if something cool and pop culture related happened in the area that I'm traveling. And so I always kind of try to figure out if there's like a fanboy mecca in the place that I'm traveling. So I've done that before. Our boy Matt was just in Hawaii and he did the Jurassic Park tour. I've done that like on horseback where you go through the Jurassic Park Valley. I've done like skydiving over in Topo in New Zealand, over Mount Doom, you know, like so you can go over where the mountain they use in Lord of the Rings and go skydiving in here. I live about 20 minutes away from the giant Gundam factory here in Japan. So it got me thinking about like, oh, what are like top geek or fanboy destinations that you want to check out, whether it be film sets or things like that. You guys ever done any of those? Have you ever done any cool tours of like sets or live locations or anything like that?
Oh yeah.
No, and I found it very hard when you were saying this. It's a cool idea. I wish that was something that I was like, oh yeah, when I'm halfway drunk, I'll go out and see something cool. But then I also thought of one place in one movie that came to where I would think to go, because you guys were all heckling me a little bit earlier about this. You're like, you've got 10 minutes to figure out. And it kind of hit, and then you were saying some stuff. And the movie and the place that I'd like to go was in a certain movie called Fanboys. I don't know if you guys are aware of this movie, Fanboys.
Movie's awesome.
Very good movie. Yeah, very funny movie. And there's a certain place that they go into Fanboys, which I would probably, if I had the chance, I would go. Well, they kind of went there. Skywalker Ranch. I would go. I think that would be like just to be able to do it. And like everybody, whoever goes there is always like, yeah, it's the best. It's like, it's great. It's everything you expect. Oh, yes, he does. Yes, he does live in Japan. It's all the great things that you could actually see. Like all the other stuff. Like, I mean, I'm not trying to hit the deserts. I'm not trying to hit the mountaintops or anything like that. I'll get a custom. What should we put on the custom label?
Okay, here, I'll bring it back up real quick.
Okay.
One more time.
Do any of you guys live near any kind of something that was used in a movie? Or
8 Mile.
Okay.
So it looks like custom
Like
label.
the part of the No, Skywalker Ranch is a great location. I didn't even think about that, but I mean, other than you kind of have to work there, right? Do they do tours of Skywalker Ranch?
A lot of the stuff, yeah, they do retreats and stuff, but it's usually for people that have something to do with Lucas and the Lucas products. So yeah, I mean, that's tough. Yeah, we got a couple other places. There's that Mark Wahlberg place that they shot where it was the Four Brothers. It's called. We do really. Unfortunately, RoboCop wasn't actually shot in Detroit, so we don't have that out here. However, Gross Point.
You guys have it a statue out now, don't you?
Yes, we do.
RoboCop statue.
Supposedly, we do. Gross Point Blake was partly shot in Gross Point, which is nice. But no, but that's it. Yeah, I don't. For the unicorn slab, they want for the unicorn slab, Kyle.
I don't see rainbow. It looks like it's SP, which I'm not sure.
Oh.
I'm assuming BR is brown, red, yellow, red, green, blue.
I think you probably have to open another tab, but I think they have like a more like a color guide, a legend on the website.
Yeah, open another.
So you
tab.
can like toggle back and forth and make sure you're picking the right one.
While we're see, look at how cool that. Wait. Let's see some of these. Flash through them.
Right, they're aesthetically, they pop.
Yeah,
they look pretty good.
See, like it would be.
They
cool
feel good in your hands too. I like that.
See, like you get a web for Spidey. I like that. Oh crap! It's going so fast. Like it would be cool to like get like see how it says 300 for Amazing Spider-Man 300. That would be cool.
Okay, thank you, Eric. I will check in 1 second. Sorry, I'm a little behind.
Like for that die cut Spider-Man, they have the webbing on the label.
What was this? He said TGI Fridays in Times Square from the greatest movie. Oh, cool. Yeah. Okay. Now it's a TGI Fridays. Okay. We got 2 Travises.
A classic location's got to be if you go to Boston to check out the Cheers bar, right?
Yeah.
That's a great one. Yeah. They have 2 Cheers bars. They have the actual Cheers bars the show.
And then they have like
the
franchised out like Cheers.
Exactly.
Bar,
Yeah. I want to go
to the real place. Yeah.
Apparently, the real one is like super low ceilings. Like it's just like
it's tiny. It's tiny. Yeah.
So it looks like.
But the outside of it is, it's the classic from what you see in, the
That's a great choice.
Let me see if I can find it.
That's a great choice.
Here we go. Right here. I found it.
Okay, you found it? I found something too. Eric, you're the best.
Yeah, there you go.
Eric's so good.
So pink and black.
Okay, which one?
Just
yeah.
pray you don't get a 0.0.
Go up. Oh, you can customize them. I don't, that might be too complicated for this show. How can I throw this in here? Let me see how I can throw this in. I think we need to. There was one that was like pink and purple. Yes, pink and purple. Everybody, right there.
Yeah, I think that'd be good for unicorn.
Pink and purple, or purple and pink. Vote for it in chat now. You've got 20 seconds. Let's get it
Can you
done.
show me the cover again, Kyle?
It's blue and white. Correct.
Okay, yeah, it's just
Got like
2 colors. Yeah.
At this point. Okay. This might create backlash. Who cares? We got to get this out here. I am telling you guys, you just wait till you see what my man Eric has sent us. It is another masterpiece, man. We've got the best. We literally have the best fans ever in chat. Best.
Okay, so
not even fans, the best people. I mean, they're just like our homies anyway. So,
Travis, you said the Mount Doom was in. That was in New Zealand, right?
Yeah. So when I went to New Zealand, we went to Hobbiton. You know, you can go visit.
Yeah. I was
going to
say that would be. Oh my god, that would be incredible to visit.
It's amazing how much they've kept everything there, and now they've kind of built up into it again. You know, because it's just you have to take a bus out to the middle of nowhere, and then they opens up, and you have this set you can walk around in, and you can have like they have the Green Dragon or Tavern bar, and you go in there and you can drink and you walk through it. It's pretty amazing, and it's a huge part of their local economy now. Is like Lord of the Rings fans traveling there and paying money to go see these places.
I wish they could somehow make it into like a resort where you go live and you live like Middle Earth style.
Yeah,
that
that's
would be a
what you do
vacation.
when you want to like stay in like a hobbit hole. Like what's his name? Peter Jackson like lives in one of those houses, you know.
Kyle, you see it?
That'd be great.
See what Eric did for us? Next shirt. This is it right here.
Tree hugger.
Here's the tree hugger. Good work, Eric. Good work. Love it.
But I think one of the cool things about going to, if you ever go to a place and you can get to like a film set or something like that, it does kind of show you like how people take film and make it fantasy. Because you go to the location, you've seen the movie 10 times, 100 times, and you go there, you're like, huh, it's cool, but it's different. And then you realize what things can happen in a camera and what they can do and how they can make it so epic. So it's really kind of seeing how reality can be changed and augmented for film. And then you just imagine the actors on that day, like, oh, they're probably sweating their ass off over here or freezing their asses off over there. Like, this is brutal out here. How do they film under these conditions? And then they make a movie out of it.
Who's James T. Kirk?
Oh, the actor.
Is that a rhetorical question?
No, you did it.
I get who that is.
James T. Kirk.
Was it a horror movie? Is he a zombie?
But as far as travelogue for fanboy stuff, you can't beat the James Bond movies.
Yeah,
because they, all around the world, exotic locations. Some of the,
All right, so you obviously you brought this up. What is your favorite like for me, Thunderball when they shoot like the Caribbean? I'm guessing
it's the Bahamas.
Bahamas, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a fictional spot, but Scaramanga's lair in The Man with the Golden Gun, I believe, which is in the South China Sea.
Yeah, and they have it's like Thailand, islands. Like the Thailand. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he just comes out of the cave, and then they just relax on the beach. Like, man.
Yeah, it ends with that big boat shot where they're on the boat and they pull back on there.
Yeah, they're on the sampan of all things. Yeah. That would be great.
That's cool. Nice. Hey, do you guys want to get into
jump off the Eiffel Tower like in View to a Kill?
Yeah.
Grace Jones jumped off. That'd be fun.
I don't get it, man. I'll be honest with you. Like, I don't get the like Skywalker thing, but like I get that the reality would always set in whenever I see it. And it's like the houses are like, oh, this is where this was shot and everything like that. And I get it, but it's like,
well, when you travel places, like, what do you like go see? I mean, do you take vacations just like go to resort vacations?
Not, like I'm a big sometimes I'm really kind of like a history type dude. So like a lot of stuff before I had kids, me and my wife used to travel all the major roads. So we would take like 2 weeks and we like Route 66. We'd go all the way from Chicago out to Santa Monica. We'd stop. It'd take us 8-9 days to get out there. We did the 101 the whole way around, all the way from in from Olympia all the way around before down the coast. The East Coast, we did whatever, I can't even remember what that was, 22, one down all the way to the end of Key West. And then, at the end, it's always like Key West, we'd stay at the Marriott where you're overseeing like the crap or shit like that. But the rest of it, some of it's just roughing it and like meeting Americans, you know what I mean? Like seeing what your country's all about. So that typically is, but we'd come across that type of like, obviously we'd come across corny stuff like this is where this was shot, or there's a whale in the water, or there's a huge rocking chair, or like somebody's house was here, or this is the birthplace of so-and-so, this, that, and the other thing. So I enjoy doing it, but it's like the set stuff always seemed
that made me think of the Goonies house.
Yeah, the Goonies house.
And then the problems that those people have.
Yeah, and they're like, there's regular people who bought this house, and now traffic backs up while they're looking at it.
Yeah. And that's it. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, those places, like, when you come across, like, the world's largest hairball, like, it's actually meant to be an attraction, but a lot of these places where stuff is shot, it's like, that's the house. Yeah, it kind of looks like it. Somebody actually lives there. You're not really supposed to be other. Like, hey.
Like, what's the hotel they shot The Shining in? Is that even still standing? Because that'd be like dope to go like.
On the East Coast. It was well, at least 10 years ago, something like that.
I don't know if it's still standing. I imagine it's still standing.
It was 10 years ago or 11 years ago when I went by it. So like,
wow,
it was there, and that was kind of cool. But like, even with that, it's kind of like yeah. I mean, like some of those roadside attractions are great because they don't cost anything, and you're just like need to stretch out my legs and like, wow, somebody really did this because like, oh, this is so corny, but like it's okay. And when you see the like, even when you go to like those places like the Area 56 places and stuff like that, and you get the green alien head things, and like there's the person that's selling it a little too hard, and you're like, okay. Then you go someplace like Neil's, California, which they like, there's only 4 buildings and all of them got like Snoopy's cousin drawn on it, like, and you surprisingly have some decent place to eat. It's amazing. Like that's kind of the hidden gems that you find every once in a while when you could talk to the people. So like, it always seems like I was disappointed whenever I go to one of these places that was supposed to be a movie set or something like that. Cause it's always like this whole, not what it's made out to be. But I guess if you're jumping into a volcano, it's supposed to be the Eye of Gourd or whatever. Like that's pretty cool. Oh,
this is this is the volcano that Joe jumped in at the end of Joe's volcano.
Volcanoes, yeah. Yeah. Like, what's that town by Area 56? The one where you go in all the diners sell you the aliens.
Roswell?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's some cool stuff like down
on my
go ahead.
On my the weekend I got married, we went to Snoqualmie Falls, which is the Twin Peaks waterfalls.
Oh,
the opening credits in Twin Peaks.
Well, that's kind of cool. That's cool. I got that.
I want to go to.
It was a pretty magical place. It was as it lived up.
I want to do the show Northern Exposure. It had that opening with there was a moose. I guess this is a fucking old show, but Northern Exposure. I think it's supposed to take place in Alaska, but I think that was filmed in Seattle, and they have this big mural of it. God, this bit did not go anywhere.
Where's Area 56?
What? Oh, 51. Sorry, it's been a long day.
Area 56. That's
51.
Secret.
About 6 miles north of 51.
Look, I don't know, man. I know there's some true believers out there, and I'm not saying that there's not aliens, but what I'm telling you about that Roswell, I've seen pyramid schemes ran better, bro.
They were going to raid that shit. Remember, like a couple of years ago, where they were like,
like go ahead and raid it.
If we drive to San Diego, we always drive by the sand dunes at Yuma, where what was Jabba's barge. From Return of the Jedi, and that you can actually see from the window of your car as you drive by. So
drive by. Cool. That's cool. Yeah, I mean that's cool. That's cool.
You don't want to get out and roll around.
Not a bad segment, Travis. I think like we were just filling out books and trying to figure out how to put unicorn in there, right? Like, I mean, that's half the battle, I guess, at this point.
It's all done and submitted.
Plus, I got to say Area 56, and it's supposed to be 51, and then it tells you what I think of that. So,
anyways, if you go to like a cool, if you're in the chat and you have been to like, you gotta check this out. You've been there. I'll go check it out. I'm single. I don't.
We've gotten some good ones, man.
I can go. I can go.
You can the little alien. Yeah. You've got some good ones. This guy's like, I'm always by the graffiti. You've gotten some good ones. The problem is like the state that I'm in's got some great stuff, but like none of it that's ever been shot in the movies. You're like, wow, dude. Like if you go to Grosse Pointe, you're like, yeah, I'm in Grosse Pointe.
Yeah, it depends on your level of fandom, obviously.
Yeah, right.
I have some friends in LA, and once a year they get on their BMX bikes. These are grown men, and they get on their BMX bikes, and they go to the Karate Kid apartment building.
Oh, okay.
Every year, and they just go and they spend the day there. And
I thought you were gonna say they.
I think the landlord now like knows them and lets them like come in and stuff. And
I think there's
that's the level of their fandom.
I think the Sandlot it might be in Utah, like one of the little field they filmed on there and stuff like that. So it's one of those things where you always go there. It's very underwhelming, but if you're a super fan, you're like, this is it. This is where the beast jumped over the fence, and Benny the Jet had to run after him.
I went to the Field of Dreams,
where they did Breaking Bad, and like, you can go to the house that it was filmed at, and like there's a sign that says, "Do not throw pizzas on the roof," and like, but what would be a cool place would be like where they filmed Goonies. Like, where the ship came out and up on the beach and where all that would be cool to see all that, I'm sure it's very underwhelming, but it would be cool to see where Goonies.
My pick was an extreme one, and it goes to what Marco didn't want, the desert, but where they filmed Mad Max Fury Road. A lot of those desert scenes were filmed in Namibia, and like, it's just in that desert there. And there's all these wildlife preserves in Namibia, Africa.
Namibia is a huge country with like the lowest population density in the world.
Yeah, and they really protect
parts of that country that are just astoundingly.
Yeah, this place is called. It's like called. I pulled up here. Skeleton Coast is where they filmed it on, and it translates to the land God made in anger. And this is where they filmed a lot of those.
Called Phoenix.
Yeah, it is kind of like that. But I was like, oh. Normally, if you're like, I'm gonna go put you out in the middle of the desert, but then you're like, oh, this is kind of like Mad Max. I'm like, all right, I'll put up with the heat for a while.
How about comic book related, literally like Ontario Street Comics in Philadelphia, where they did the Unbreakable movie.
Oh yeah.
I thought Ish was gonna say,
I'd love to go visit that.
Yancey Avenue.
Gleaming the Cube.
I would have been like, oh, they're gonna steal a pizza truck. They got a BMX bikes. They stole a Pizza Hut truck. Tony Hawk shows up every once in a while. They do Gleaming in the Cube. They get on the skateboard. I was like, oh, that's dope. He's like, no, they went to the car. Okay. All right. Yeah. Fat Jacks, huh? Oh, I don't know. Do you guys go to all those places? Like, I mean, I obviously, if you go to New York, you got to stop at Midtown, right? Like, you go to all the comic, like.
When you travel, do you go to comic shops? Do you check out new comic shops in cities?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's scheduled in. It is scheduled.
Anybody been to Mile High ever?
No, actually, I haven't. No,
I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think so.
Just to be surrounded by that many comic books all at once.
Into the warehouse, yeah.
I spent a couple of summers in London. They got some good comic shops in there.
I gotta call them on Monday or Tuesday.
London. He's got to call London. He's got to.
No, I think the people who just ordered book for some screwed up already.
Yes.
So it's screwed up already.
So yes.
Here. The story. Here we go.
I got my email confirmation that I submitted the books. It says your comic book submissions have, and I don't know how this is. I'm gonna.
You should email them back and be like, dude, we're talking about you live right now.
Go ahead. What do you?
So what it says, new book entry, quantity 1, title Unicorn, issue 1. I put it. Remember how I put it at near mint? Condition 7.
I'm sorry. What now?
So remember how I put it at
yes.
Remember it told me what I
should have put it in mint. Yes, they're doing a grading system. Oh, they're doing a card grade.
So it says condition 7.
Yes.
You know how pissed I'll be? How fucking pissed I'll be if they come back. They have to like grade it though. Like, I mean, if it comes back like a 6.5 now, I'll be
put mint plus. Mint plus.
I'll be fucking livid.
Yes, no, I don't want it. Hey, if it comes back near mint 7.0, gold, fucking gold. Get out of here, dude. This is the best that could have happened.
Both of them, and that's what both of them say. So the other one says Ice Cream Man 24 condition 7.
Yeah. Hartman's got it right. Glad this is documented, dude. This is what you've all been waiting for. It's already, the wheels are already falling off the bus. We haven't even started the engine yet. It's going sideways.
I haven't even shipped them out yet.
I would ask for a refund at that. Nope, we can't. Dwayne,
Nope,
yeah, the biggest laugh out of all of them. Dwayne put the 20 down. We got to do it. Man, they're good, dude. Okay, how bad
I'm
is
going
that?
to call them, and I'm going
I
to
bet you that unicorn's not even going to have a back cover on it by the time it comes back at this point, dude. We're in trouble. Ish, what'd you get us involved in, man?
Oh, man.
All right. Hey, when Travis comes back, good seg. I think that was a good seg. Give us a thumbs up if you thought it was. If you didn't, then tell me that our segments are dumb, and I'm cool with that too. So, but the next segment, should we get in fives or should we do reviews? Me and Ish are holding back, man. We're trying to keep the energy level good because, like, I'm telling you, this Heroes thing, it's got me twisted. And I was in the shop
I'm still kind of shaking my head at it.
Yeah, I was in the shop this weekend or this week, and I was telling them, Ish, I was like, who's reading it? Put your hands up. Put your hands up if you're reading this, right? And everybody that did's like the same way. I mean, they're like, yeah, it's a troll, right? You guys all feel responsible. Yeah, that's great. Everybody take responsibility for us doing dumb things afterwards. Once again, send all your emails to Comic Book Jesus Tuesday and Thursdays.
Hey, I'm still going to send them in, and now I'm very curious to see if they come back. Like,
yeah.
So if I tell them it's a 7, it's coming back as a 7. Like,
no, Dwayne's right. Dwayne's right. That's what I was saying about
there's no way. Obviously, they're going to grade the book. Mm-hmm. I don't know why it says 7 on the submission sheet.
But I think
because they're doing a card grading system.
Forehead is dumb.
Ish. They're doing the card grading system. That's what they're doing.
Maybe it's like when you have to rate yourself like on a scale of like attractiveness, and you always go a couple lower, so that way no one is like, like, oh, dude, you're not a fucking 8.
That's when they're gonna come back at 9.
Dude, 10 mint gem. Yeah, you just said it was a mint gem, right? That's what you just. Whatever, man. We'll see what it is. Let's give him. Hey, come on, man. I mean,
give him a shot. Give him a shot.
Let's give him a
shot. Give the guys a shot.
Oh, this is gonna go horribly wrong. Let's give him a shot though. So, should we get into top 5s or should we get into comic book reviews?
Is it top 5?
Let's get Heroes Reborn over with.
Oh, let's get Heroes Reborn over with.
Okay. So, for all those people who've been following this show for one, and just this show, I think we're the only people. No, people started. I'll tell you, people started writing articles about it and getting on top of it after we were talking about it. Like Heroes Reborn started off as a troll, flat out. There's no excuse. They trolled DC and they trolled them hard. But this week, the tire hit the pavement. Ish hits us up and says, "Bro, I'm coming on, and we got to talk about it because now what Marvel did is they did a bunch of mini breakoffs, right, Ish? This is what your problem with it. Tell them what your problem was with it."
Well, just the usual, kind of an event with all the spinoffs and, got to get the checklist and all that.
And I was on it. I was like, hey, I don't want to do the checklist with this. I actually kind of really like it because I think it's hilarious what they've been doing. They've crapped on DC. They've kind of made fun of themselves a little bit too. Not kind of. They have flat out made fun of themselves a little bit too.
So for the core series, though, they've been switching up the creative team every issue. Mm-hmm. And I think that's kind of what's given it a new flavor.
Which is but also that was kind of the crap on in Marvel back in 2010, 2011. Because remember, they'd start off those arcs, and halfway through the arc, they would keep switching to the creative team, and people hated that.
Correct. And then
have some great
issue number 4 with the James Stokoe art, right?
Yeah.
You can argue that they went off the deep end, but that's when I was like, you know what? This suddenly turned kind of ingenious.
Yeah. So
they
both
went
started
with
reading
that art style and went all in for the entire issue.
I wish we could pull up Ish's original message. He's like, I'm coming on because I'm just gonna dog and rat this out. And I was like, good. I go, but tell Ish I'm gonna review the first one because I had already read the first one, and the first one's pretty good. But I'll do 2 pages for both. And I think by the end, I'll share the screen. It got a little bit we got a little bit slop. I mean, I don't even know what to say about it, dude. Like, I'm broken up about it too. So Heroes Reborn, we'll give you the main title first. The Groot weapon, Rocket Raccoon.
First of all, the Infinity Rings are, I don't even know what to say.
It's like bad costume jewelry in a high school play.
It's like candy. It's like those little like lollipop candy rings.
And the front doesn't match the inside as far as the it's the drape and the covers, right? As far as the artwork. It's just all the best hits, right? And then you get the Watcher who's got no eyes. He's got the like angry baby face going on.
Personally, I like this art style.
Yeah, me too. I was gonna say that's pretty dope.
Fantasy stories, it really takes you into another world, another place.
And then they do the
great colors, but I can understand if it's not everyone's cup of tea, because this is not your regular way to depict a Marvel story.
It's not house style for sure. I like it.
Yeah, and that's what I was like. Whoa, okay, you threw a curveball at me. All right.
And I think that's kind of the shit on, right? Like that's kind of what they're doing, right? So, but then too, like they also make fun of themselves because everybody was always arguing when they split up the Avengers story. Remember, they're like, why didn't somebody just bust his finger off and take one of the rings? And this one, they got Dr. Spectre just going like, yeah, screw you, I'm shooting your fingers off, bro. Like, easiest way to get to the end of it. Then there's a lot of
storyline too. The Squadron Supreme has kind of broken up, right?
Right, they have broken up. Yep,
they have their own little Civil War event.
Mm-hmm. They had their little Civil War fight. They come back in, and he uses all the attack that he can. He even puts these maggot things and eats them up. It gets a little gory here, which is kind of funny, and just up to the sense of absurdness. And then they bring back. Then, holy crap, did they shit all over John or over Shooter, man? They brought Starbrand back in, just. Oh my God. Some of the lines they were putting in there was just like Jim Shooter is probably just sitting wherever he's sitting. Where is he nowadays? Do we even know where he is?
He's got to be like 90 at least if he's still alive.
Yeah. For those that don't know, Jim Shooter went over to Marvel for a little bit and he did Secret Wars and everybody thought it was good. And in the beginning, people really liked him. By the time Jim Shooter ran out of Marvel.
Yeah.
Huh?
He was a kid when he came over. Yeah.
By the time they ran him out of Marvel.
I'm a Jim Shooter fan because that's my era.
Right, but
Secret Wars blew my ever-living mind. So
and I think a lot of people
be a Jim Shooter fan. And I even know the backstory that was just a marketing ploy for toys, etc.
Right,
doesn't bother me one bit.
I understand all that. That's all I'm saying.
The all the art and all that was like a submission, like a fan submission. That Jim Shooter paid him, they sent a check to him, and
I think the greatest quote ever was by Romano when he said, Jim Shooter came and fixed Marvel, and then he fixed it so much he broke the shit out of it and he had to go. That sums up Jim Shooter. That's what he's done for a career, right? And I think this is part of it.
The Jim Shooter era was the cartoons, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
But he also did New Universe, bro. He also did New Universe, which is where Starbrand comes from. And I'm sorry, Side Team and all that other crap ain't exactly. Look, you might like it because it's nostalgia. It ain't good. It just isn't good.
I don't have much nostalgia for those, but hey, you never know. 30 years from now, those could be the books that hit.
Jim Shooter had the mind. He was really good at seeing the big picture, like the big universal connections and things, and looking at the epicness that became Marvel.
He had that Stan Lee
chronology. Yeah.
He was also very good at as looking about as the third mafia member in the background. A lot of times, he did that. He really had that goofy. Wheelman type look to him all the time with the sloppiness where the tie's gone and
and the hair's always kind of
I know Claremont and him used to get into it a lot.
It wasn't just him. I'm not saying he's bad. He did some good stuff, but everybody turned on him. They turned on him at Valiant. They turned on him at Marvel because he started Valiant, right? He was one of the guys that got Valiant off the ground. They turned on him at DC. They turned on him every stop that he had gone. Either way, so they're shooting on Shooter. That's
shooting on Shooter. Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyways, there was this cool part where they melt Raccoon Rocket in the sun. It was great stuff. I really thought it was well written. It was better than I thought it was going to be because I didn't think it started off that good. At the end, they kind of do these little things, and they're even doing the Mephisto troll, right? If anything was wrong, damn well know who was in charge. Do the Mephisto thing. They're in a church. It's what's his name from Shield.
I mean, look at the line work on that art.
So do you tell him.
It is, and then they bring in
excellent.
They bring in Starbrand at the second half of it. They're gonna do something that has to deal with New Universe because they're just we're gonna sell you this crap that we made fun. I mean, think about it. That New Universe stuff was when they pretty much said here's the door. hit you where the good Lord split you. Thank you for your service. You're out, dude. Like, and they're pushing it through here, and Wakanda apparently is showing up for that. I don't know. I thought it was hilarious. I enjoyed it. Enjoyed the book. This one.
Oh boy.
Oof.
Are we gonna show the final panel? It's kind of a spoiler, but
yeah, we spoil everything. So Spider-Man doesn't turn to Spider-Man. They kill the spider that was supposed to bite him. He gets picked on all the time. The whole Mary J thing, it's like, yeah, I wish I could, whatever. Isn't this like Doc Ock's the female version of that or something like that? I can't remember. Instead of Uncle Ben dying, the aunt dies. He then here's the final panel. He then gets.
And then he finally, does he get bitten or is
he gets bitten? But we don't know if it's technically the spider or if it's a spider infected by something else.
And then he throws himself through a window. End of comic.
It's kind of dope. I like the end.
Do that when their aunt dies.
Yeah. So I don't know, Ish, how you felt about this one. I thought this was the weakest out of the titles.
It sounds like they just changed a few details about the origin of Spider-Man and then threw it at the end. He's still getting bit by the spider, right?
Yeah, so it was like a what if. Absolutely. It was like a what if. They were kind of playing on that, and then he kills himself at the end.
The story was just a little different.
But also, the end is cool. Yes, this is the one part about this book that I did kind of like. If you ever see, and this is where I think the joke comes into it, is like, oh, always it's the male figure for the superhero dies, and that's what causes, and then some weird random thing happens. And in this book, they're like, no, the random spider didn't hit him. And you know what? The male figure didn't die in this book. And that's like Batman's story and Spider-Man's story and Aquaman's story and every not Captain America's story, but a lot of people's stories. You know what I mean? And they didn't do it. And then at the end, when he's supposed to be the hero, they're like, yeah, the dude just goes out there and commits suicide. So can we say that? I don't know if we can say that. No, we just did. So either way.
Hey, what?
Nothing. There, I believe.
Oh, he throws himself out the window at the end to just end it all. That's actually
well, I guess I don't know. Is he going to transform and save
Yeah.
himself? You know, it's so open ended, but it's just kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Just the look on his face, like wee, you know.
Actually, the three panels of him running through that hallway with the spider get up is pretty cool, and that leads into like the half.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like an infected spider from the Nile, but like. The thing with it too was before this, and we didn't show. That was what I was saying. I told everybody I was like, I'm only doing 2 panels, and then we kept adding more. But there's a part in the panel where he's like, I just want to give up. I don't care anymore. And I think that's when you read that, and then you see this, and then like he's like, yeah, I'm finally a superhero when I'm giving up on everything. That's kind of what the last panel.
He turns into the Tick.
and I don't think there's any sort of follow up to this, so it kind of comes.
No, I think it's a one shot,
inconsequential.
Yeah,
like if it didn't have the Heroes Reborn label on it, would it have made a difference?
Probably not.
I think that's what the end was. So I do think they're making fun of what ifs, and they're making fun of that stuff too. Then we get the Imperial Guard. Here's the characters for it. Yeah, they pretty much the Brood pretty much takes them all over. I didn't shoot any. I mean, whatever. Do you want to talk about any of this? Because I skipped.
Actually, I didn't read it. Diamond shorted us on this entire issue.
That stinks.
We never even got it. I never even read it. Nobody even noticed.
The back half was actually pretty good. It had Starjammers in the back half, which I think was the better part of it. And I'm always for the 2-part storyboards that they used to do in Marvel where you'd actually get 2 stories in one book. I always thought those were great. I think they should go back to that format, and they did. It was also very funny that they ended up making Johnny Storm the Century Nova person. I'm also, with that being said, the people that know that I'm a big fan of like the Space Odyssey stuff, including in Marvel. So Starjammers, right up my lot. I think the Cyclops Havoc portion of this was a little corny, as it was supposed to be. Of course, also too, you get the love story between their dad Quasar and whatever. Really good. It was kind of funny. It's definitely part of the read that was good. And a lot of times when those Marvel books had a 2-part story, the regular storyline was kind of lame, and they're introducing the new portions of the story. The second half of the story were better, and that's kind of what happened in this book. Next up, we've got Magneto and the Mutant Force, which I was like, wow, this is just bad. Good luck with these mutants. And they do have a little bit of Jubilee and Rogue in there.
So let's talk about what is it? Is it Mr. 1 and Mr. 2? What are they called? the dude with the Quado baby.
Oh yeah. What about it? What do you want to talk about it?
What was his name?
I can't remember.
I
Mr. 1 and Mr. 2. That is it.
Mr. 1 and Mr. 2. I don't know. It just made me. I just thought of Quado, and then you turn the page and he's shot in the head.
Yeah, they shoot him in the head. I didn't put that in there. There's a lot of brutality. The other things I did put in was the Nemesis thing because we were trying to make it not too long. They actually used the Jubilee coloring, which was also a cover for his book at one time. If you guys remember the Nemesis storyline.
So what was actually the premise of this book?
Magneto, I guess, invites the heroes to his island, and they can join forces and continue the fight against the Squadron Supreme.
Yeah, there's really no like hardcore.
Magneto's always trying to establish some real estate somewhere. He's kind of like a real estate baron. He's always like, here's a moon base, here's an island.
Join me. I'm your leader.
Yeah,
but it really feels like it's almost like E-listers.
Yeah, it's B-list characters, and they knock him down and show that he's unimportant. And then you see like flawless victory here too. It's definitely some funny stuff. When they're throwing it at the Supreme Squadron 2, you get actually one of my favorite characters, Fitz, here from X-Men 2099, because that was a hot-selling book, probably one of the best in the 2099 series. You know, they didn't decide to use Doc Doom or either Ghost Rider 2099 or even the hot Spider-Man 2099. They decided to go with that hot title, X-Men 2099. I did actually truly enjoy it, but I know it wasn't a really good seller. They could have gone with Ravage too. That's another hot seller there. I think it was hilarious that that's one of the characters they decide to show up, which also shows you what they're doing with these side universes. It's hilarious. And then they give you, Jesus.
Yes. Oh God.
Last panel. I mean, come on. They're just Magneto. Turns out that's not fucking Magneto. It's actually Cassandra Nova. For those people who don't know who Cassandra Nova is, you want to take it or me, the twin baby for
you take it.
Okay, so it's Xavier's twin baby in the womb that turns out that there's a psychic connection but got suppressed, and then she ends up taking over, and like just a story of shit. Just a story of shit, right? Like, I mean, it's a shit story.
Story of shit.
So that's what we get. We have an on-running title now.
That one was pretty weak, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was funny though. Like the big reveal was Magneto because they did the in Way of X last week. They did the thing where they're bringing back Magneto and Xavier together. What's his name? Anybody?
X-Men?
No. She's a horse jockey. No, not Overkill. What the heck is
Legion?
Legion. No, somebody in the chat hit it up when Magneto and Xavier mind melted, and they formed the purple dude that was overpowered. We talked about
the Onslaught.
Onslaught, yeah. So they did Onslaught. So they finished this one off by doing the opposite of Onslaught. You're right, female Xavier in jockey pants. So there we go. That's what we got. She does look like a horse jockey. Yes, she does. Okay. Up next is Siege Society. Look, I like Thunderbolts. This is bootleg Thunderbolts. I like the art here.
Bootleg Thunderbolts.
It was crazy, dude. This was another crazy book. The book was just bleeping crazy. Biggest point out of this was Mephisto saves the Queen, the Sex Pistol cover.
I like that.
I mean, read the book. I don't know. Pick it up for $1 because it's going to be $1 book, but it's a funny fucking book.
What was the premise of it?
The Thunderbolts. It was literally the Thunderbolts. The Thunderbolts are pretty much going after the Supreme Squadron. They're going after the speeder guy, the wizard that's not the wizard anymore. I can't remember Blur's what they call him now. And there's actually scenes in it like they do go so far. You know the famous Ant-Man scene where you got Hawkeye shooting Ant-Man on the arrow. They do that, but the shit goes wrong. It doesn't work out well. Like none of it works out how it's supposed to be. You know, then they get into a little fight with Silver Queen, which is Silver Witch, which is Scarlet Witch, but she calls herself Silver Witch because she's now fast and she's Scarlet Witch. It's a clusterfuck of shit, dude. Yeah, it literally is a clusterfuck of shit. Yes, Mephisto is. I don't think Mephisto is coming, actually. I think that's a huge troll. I think they're trolling everybody who was talking about the Scarlet Witch show. I think it really is. Or maybe he's coming. Who knows? I don't know. We'll see. And then finally we get Young Squadron, which I was like, wow, this. I think we even commented like, damn, this is going to be bad. You know, you got Miles Morales playing Falcon.
So the premise though is these kids are influenced by the Squadron Supreme.
Yeah.
So it's like instead of Young Avengers, it's like Young Squadron Supreme / Young Justice.
So instead of Sam Alexander being Nova,
that's like trying to be a cover band of like Nickelback.
Yeah, and then they have the weird MODOK, but it's not MODOK.
Yeah, it's not MODOK.
What do they call it?
No, I can't remember.
I can't see. I'm too blind to see on the screen.
It is. No, it's MODOK. They call it MODOK. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
There's one of the letters is different.
Oh, it's ACK.
Fodoc.
Anyway, but he doesn't become Sam Alexander, which is weird because he literally becomes the Nova ripoff. Like, so it's the same thing. Kamala Khan runs into Wonder Woman and she becomes like girl power is what they call her. It's just then the
Deadpool
stuff. Holy
man.
shit. Okay, so wait, Miles Morales watches Falcon die. So he becomes Falcon, right? I don't know. It's kind of a dumb point in that one, but whatever. Then Deadpool comes in and just starts beating the shit out of all these kids. And he like wraps up Miles and is like, yeah, I'm the one who actually killed Falcon. And I'm pissed because, or like helped out my buddy Green Goblin. And I'm pissed because, you know, your superhero friends then took out Green Goblin. He ends up putting gas on him, like literally gas. He's about to light him and set him on fire. Then Sam Alexander comes back and Nova punches him, but it's not Nova because now he's Spectrum. Pulls out a knife. He really was assaulting the kids back and forth. At the end, too, just a line for all you. It says, we're not just heroes, we're champions. So they're going to change their name to the Champions, which is the name of the group that it currently has.
Champions.
Yeah, but it's also the name of the group that currently has these three characters in it. So they're kind of, and it says the end ? So I thought that was good. I mean, I just thought they're just trolling out there is what I think. And if that's what they're doing, I think they're doing a pretty good job. And surprisingly, I think we want to hate these books or want to at least talk some crap about these books. And I don't know. Like, I don't think they're as bad as we thought they were going to be.
Some of them are. I feel some of them are as bad.
Which ones do you feel was bad? The Spider-Man book. That was the one I thought was just bad.
The Siege Society I did not care for. I thought the dialogue was not good at all. I thought there was someone trying to write, how does a British person speak? And then they tried to write it that way. And then they want you to like read it with a British accent. I don't know. I thought that was terrible.
But I thought that's part of the troll. Like, I think it's all part, you know, like, I think that's like what they're doing is like, oh yeah, exactly what you're saying. What's the point? Because they can, because people are buying their books no matter what. Dude, that book, that young whatever book with Miles Morales as Falcon sold out faster than like anything. Like, it was sold out. Like, that book is, dude, seriously, that book sold out. You think that's not? Yeah, come on, man.
It's a troll.
It's a troll. The Jim Shooter stuff they were doing in there is definitely like having Junior art. Some of that stuff is a troll. Like, that's what they're doing.
Brian in the chat?
I forget which book it was in. There was just a one panel of the Nighthawk character in his bat cave.
Yeah,
takes off the mask, and it made me think of Future State's Second Son.
Yeah, absolutely. They're just
the way that the panel was composed. I was like, that was straight out of that, the Second Son of Batman.
I mean, yeah, they just don't care. They don't care, and it's. I don't know.
This is why Brian's not coming on the show.
Yeah, he probably. I just, my thing is this: like, it's one of those things where they're like, I mean, it's stuff we complain about too. Like, this is a good book. Why are people buying it? Because, like, is it a first cover? Is it first whatever? And then all of a sudden they come out with a book where it's literally the stupidest characters. The thing people were all complaining about, right? Like, can't you come up with an original character? They literally take the characters that people were complaining about. You can't come up with an original character and refashion them into non-original fucking characters, bro.
Just mash them together, yeah.
I don't care how stoned you are. You have to know that's a troll, dude. When you're taking Miles Morales, who there's people literally screaming at Marvel on a stage, in a conference at one point going, why can't you just give us the original Spider-Man? You can't come up with an original idea. And they go, no, you know what's worse? We're going to give you a rehash of Falcon, bro. Like, that's how bad that shit was, dude.
Since
Literally how bad
would it be Malkin?
Huh? Yeah. Falcon. But, like, I mean, like, that's what they're doing, dude. I mean, it's not... It's funny. I don't know. I think it's funny. I just think it's funny. I know it's not probably everybody's humor, but it's funny because that book, people aren't even reading it and it's sold out. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're just buying it because they're specking it, and Marvel's laughing about it. They're literally making fun of it in the book that they're selling to these people who haven't opened it and sold it out. Like, yes, I find that trolling funny
for the Marvel's part.
I think it's brilliant. Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's like a $6 book too, because it's a number one. So it's not even like they're giving you like the $4.99 price. They're like overcharging you on cheap ass paper. And those books are literally a hit list of shit people complain about Marvel. Literally a hit list of shit to people. Changing up artists and story writers halfway through a book, they complain about it. Giving us characters that aren't original and are just rehashes, absolutely doing it with the characters that they got complaints about. Oh, why didn't you make this movie more realistic, like shooting off the rings? They did that too. You guys just rip off DC characters. They did that too in those books. They literally went down the list. Check, 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 check. We're done. Give us your money. And they got it. They got it. And they got it for me too, because I think it's hilarious. So I ain't gonna lie. I fucking bought those books because I think the shit's funny. Not for spec, but because I think the shit is fucking hilarious. So Ish does not agree.
They should do like some kind of one-off, toss them in a what-if type of movie. That would actually be kind of cool. Not even a what-if, but just like this.
They can't do that.
This troll type of movie. It would be kind of awesome.
Like Legos, like the Lego stuff where they do the Legos movies that are like the Star Wars Legos things have always been kind of a troll.
What if we took Heroes Reborn seriously?
Your wife gave you the seal of approval.
Yeah, up to down. That they can do it right. That's why they're doing it right now, because they could literally do it right now and cash checks. They're cashing checks now. Who cares about? I mean, it's out there. Like it. That book. We brought up that book 3 weeks ago on this show. The chat killed that book. Like, this is garbage. Nobody's gonna buy this crap. And we're like, watch, they'll buy it. Sold out, man. Like. This right here, we are the champions. We are the champions. They say it in that fucking panel. Yeah, they are the champions because they sold that fucking book out, bro. Like I whatever. Yeah, fair enough. So, all right. Anyways, that's all we had for that. Great. The other two guys who are supposed to be reviewing.
I'm in Robin too.
Robin too.
How about I'll just throw in that. However we felt about this Heroes Reborn stuff, they were not the worst books of the week for Marvel.
Absolutely not even close.
Because there was Reptile #1. I don't know if anyone saw that.
Yeah, which was also a book a lot of people were buying for some reason. I don't know.
That's just rough.
You want crap, they'll sell you crap, bro. All right, I'm up.
Should we do Robin #2?
Robin Deuce.
Let's see.
Now, for those of you who don't remember, that Robin 1 was Robin basically gets in this Mortal Kombat style tournament, and it's all setting up.
Awesome that DC did that.
Yeah. It was, it coincided very well with the release of the Mortal Kombat movie as well. And so we're kind of like, it's Robin making his way to the tournament, and of course he gets off the boat in the last third of the book and immediately engages in battle with Flatline, and immediately his heart is like ripped out of his body. And so that's where that first issue leaves us with a dead Robin. So the second issue opens up with Robin on this slab, and you can see the scar where his heart was pulled out.
And he wakes up, and they kind of give him some shit for, Ravager. It's such a cool character.
Ravager?
Yes.
Yeah,
I really like her. I think she's a good offset in this book as like down to earth and like doesn't put up with Damien's shit.
If this is a rom-com, she's like the protagonist's best friend who, like, he realizes in the end they were meant to be together all along.
So what happens is now they're like, all right, now that you've already died, let's explain the rules of the island.
Mm-hmm.
And they break it down and they say, first off, you get 3 lives. You get 3 chances. And what happens is
the first time you can leave at the tournament at any time after, up to your second death. After your second death, you can decide to leave the tournament and you're fine. But if you go for a third time and you die a third time, you're dead.
But if you win, you get immortality.
Yeah.
That is the grand prize of what this is. That's what they're telling you the grand prize of all this is. So,
and then they go
down, they talk to Damien and they're like, this is all out Mortal Kombat style. And he's like, hell yes, I'm going to do it. He's like, I'm not holding back. And what
that was a big thing for this comic book. He goes, finally, you're telling me I don't have to hold back. And then he immediately jumps into battle with like 3 people on the island.
It just starts killing.
Yeah.
It starts killing person after person, which I don't expect anything less from Damien.
Like people who are just like having like a coffee on the sidelines. He's just like,
kill. So what happens is Ravager sits down and says, all right, here are your
a couple other things of the rules is you can only fight during the daytime and you cannot fight in the lodgings.
The dorm room or where everybody's sleeping.
Those will definitely come into play later in the story, I'm sure.
Yes. So, and then what Ravager tells him is, these are your main
competition.
People. This is the competition.
Threats.
Respawn, XXL, Flatline, Black Swan, and Hockey.
Now, I've been reading any DC. Are these all whole cloth characters? Have these appeared in other places before?
No.
These are all new?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a good way to introduce them in like tournament style. Of these panels, which are you most interested in?
I think this because Hockey. Or Hawk.
Hawk.
Well, I first read Hawkeye.
Oh, yeah. Because the exclamation at the end of it. Yeah.
They're getting a little troll back.
I do like how you call him Hockey.
But we're just going to call him Hockey.
I like XXL is kind of this funny, like weird character. It looks like I'm kind of looking at this Black Swan character. I'm liking this Black Swan character.
So it gives you a little backstory on everybody. So Respawn, he's a real piece of work.
Straight up video game.
Undisciplined, dangerous, dressed and he's dressed like who.
Yeah.
You got XXL who 10 years ago, his ego makes you look humble, comes in with which he was when they say you, they mean Damien.
Mm-hmm.
Comes in with an entourage that pumps him up. Flatline.
I'm pretty sure XXL was my college roommate. I was looking at him like, humble. Dan? Is that Dan? Then we got Flatline, who we met in the previous issue. She's just like, it's still a little bit of mystery, but she's working for someone, right?
So it says Connor Hawkeye is Green Arrow's son.
Just
Hockey. So Ballerina, he took on the role of the White Swan, got too lost in the character, killed everybody, and she became the Black Swan. And then Hockey is the League of Shadows actually brought him, which ticks off Damien.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, he talks about it. My mother said the League of Larius was used as part of the League of Shadows, but what are they doing here? They working together, and she's like, nah, there's some tension. So I like he's kind of polite as he kills, but it's kind of cool.
I like the fact that like it's a Damian story, so of course bring in the League of Shadows and the League of Lazarus.
Yep, Lazarus.
Yeah, bring those two things. That's like the history of the character right there. Let's let those two identities play out.
So what they do find out is they
Joe
go.
XL, was that One Punch Man? Was that who that was?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. So what they do is Damien runs out. He's going snooping. What Damien does. Flatline kind of catches up, and they decide that they're going to go on. They're going to go snooping around.
And we find out like Flatline's kind of like this sassy, like kind of written very Harley Quinn-esque, like at this point in juncture. Yeah.
Yeah, that's original for DC.
And what they do is they actually find out that there's a huge Lazarus pit underneath the island.
Mm-hmm. It looks dope too. I like the reveal of it with the big statue there. Yeah.
So he's like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna do this,"
but they're pulling shit out of it. They're doing some weird kind of techno experiments on it. You can see in this panel here how they have things hooked up to the Lazarus pit, and it looks like they're sucking stuff out of it.
Yeah, and whatever it is, it needs to feed into it. So I'm assuming whoever dies gets fed into it, and that's the point of the Mortal Kombat try to balance or challenge is they keep, as long as people keep dying, keep feeding it. That's kind of what I'm seeing, thinking, imagining, whatever you want to call it. So,
I have a question. So I've been listening to what you guys are saying. This reminds me a lot of like Ninjago and Chen's Island. Is this what we're doing now? DC's just copying off of Lego TV show cartoons?
Maybe.
Maybe they're doing their own secret troll.
Yeah,
it is kind of like a major trope, though. Like you go to like a death style tournament, and then there's your B plot, which is a mystery involving something like that. Yeah, so it's definitely not original territory.
No, it's not. But Ravager ends up, or Flatline ends up going saying, we're gonna have to do something about this. And then what actually happens is, Pennyworth actually comes to Damien because he's been having them visions of him. Says, "Well, you need to go to Batman," and he's like, "Nope, I'm gonna figure this shit out." And he takes off, and Flatline's like, just like the son of Batman, and he gets caught in a net, like you can see there, and it's Ravager catches them, and she's like, your problem is pretty much you're a dick. You need to lighten up. It's pretty much what's going on with this. And she says, what you need to do is you need to lighten up. You need to stop being a dick. And what you need to do is have some fun. And that's kind of where they ended it, where all of the
contestants,
everybody that's in the battle is actually like kicking it and having fun. And that's kind of where they ended it. And Damien's going to have a shit fit, and he's not going to buy into having fun because.
And fair enough. If you're there for the tournaments, people in the Olympics, they don't go like out drinking the night before their event. And I feel like Damien's.
I heard there's a lot of partying at the Olympics.
Yeah, actually, there's just a report about how many condoms get handed out.
After your competition, they're not working their asses off, and then like, well, before I go skeet shooting, I'm gonna go skeet shooting. If you know what I'm saying, they're gonna go. They're gonna like be professionals about it. I feel like I'll let you know. I'm gonna hang out the Olympians this year in Japan. No one else.
Well, the point of the Olympics is they're not professionals; they're amateurs.
That's true. Fair enough. You know what? I stand corrected.
No, I mean logically, you're correct.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's for peak performance.
You would think you had built up to do this.
There's probably a couple sports where you can probably get away with partying.
You'd be dedicated, but
like curling.
Ain't nothing wrong with curling.
Hey, you gotta have precision, accuracy. Imagine trying to do the broom sweeping with a really bad hangover.
Oh gosh, yeah, just vibrating.
Imagine that with a headache and the cold and the ice, and you're like, you're just not feeling it, so you're only sweeping.
Yeah,
and you could hear from the crowd, "Sweep fucking faster!"
Sweep fucking faster. You forgot that part of it.
Sweet fucking Fester, eh?
Was that
Yeah,
supposed
sweet
to be a
fucking
Canadian
bastard.
joke?
Eh?
Sweet
It was.
A.
Eh? It
But
was.
I think Robin, this is one of the better DC titles right now.
Yeah, for sure.
It's really, I like to see where it's going because, I mean, obviously, Damien's
This
going
is
to
Joshua
uncover
Williamson,
something.
right?
It's Joshua Williams.
Okay.
which
Williams.
You think
is
it's
one of my
a way
favorite
for
writers,
them-
So I am kind of biased.
Is it weird that like this obviously this tournament and you get granted immortality, but all like the fighters in it are kind of like young in the comic world, like more like new characters or D-list characters in here. You think that plays into the storyline? What at some point why they pick like these young kind of sidekick heroes to come in there? Because they don't say like why
Maybe
they
it's just
chose
to pump
these
up
people.
Robin.
Yeah,
Because it's
Maybe. So
DC.
he's
Like,
not
you know how you
facing
go to the
heavy
bar.
competition that's not realistic, perhaps.
yeah.
Where you feel like,
Build
you
up.
know what, he should have
yeah.
gotten his ass kicked.
Yeah,
But this way, maybe it's like, you know what, Robin can't kick all this ass.
right, and help him build up his own rogues gallery too, maybe.
Yeah, there you go.
I like it that it's his own title. It's not the Teen Titans. He's doing something on his own. It's his own. You know what I mean? That's what I'm liking about it.
So is this gonna be Travis? Are you hitting this is gonna be the new Teen Titans? Is that what you're saying?
All these people in the book seem very amiable. They seem like they could easily be heroes. Everyone's kind of like got like a nice quirky attitude, and they're all spunky. Everyone in this book is very spunky.
Spunky.
Spunky
it is.
So I like it.
DC brings the spunk.
Spunky.
It was skeet, skeet, skeet earlier. Now it's spunk, spunk, spunk. Okay. All right. Nice. So it's good. Yeah. At least they have a good title over there.
It's not bad.
Right?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I thought it's a fun read. Joshua Williams is I don't know. I think he's a very good writer. He's the reason I'm a huge Flash fan now.
Okay.
So
Fair enough.
I really like him, and just like I was talking about on Absolute Geek last night, is everybody is raving over Tinian being this great writer. This is something I said years and years ago. But he's an awesome writer. Just wait. You guys are going to see, and he's going to explode. You guys are all going to be eating your words that he's not a very good writer. And now he is. He's got some of the best titles out right now. So, and Joshua Williams is the same way. He's just an awesome writer. He kind of falls in these little tropes of this arc is going to be this and this. You know what I mean? Like, you know what's going to happen, but it's still a great read, and I think that's what awesome that he does. The rise and fall of a villain, next arc. The rise and fall of a villain, next arc. But I still think it's a lot of fun.
Okay, and then we get this. Fair enough. Guess that's an opinion.
I hate Marvel. That's the comment.
Yeah. Well, Marvel likes your money.
I hope he slammed his
I'll be
fist
right
after. I hate Marvel.
That'd be hilarious. All right, let's get into the top 5. That's good that, like I said, yeah, you can. It is what it is. Definitely 2 different titles going on this week. There was a lot of garbage out this week. There was a lot of garbage out this week in comics. There's some other good stuff. There's some cool stuff in Star Wars. We'll talk about that tomorrow. 9
Star
Eastern,
Wars
if you
Darth
guys-
Vader came out this week.
It did. It was a good book. Both that and the they did that reprint of the German book Weapon of the Jedi,
Oh yeah,
which is really cool.
I started reading the
That was
High
an
Republic
IDW
ones.
title.
It was an IDW title, but they kind of have finally given up. Like they have full-fledged like told stores and stuff to try to put them next to each other, and like the
What do you
IDW titles. IDW titles is some of the better stuff they're writing as far as the High Republic stuff goes, I would say. And then, I mean, the Weapon of the Jedi stuff, I mean, it is a reprint and a print off of a novel,
they were
right?
doing that Smuggler's Bounty.
Smuggler's Bounty is pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. I don't know. Like I said, I already knew the storyline for Weapon of the Jedi. It's kind of cool. But I did like Vader. I think Vader's taking over as the top Star Wars title. I think when you go down Star Wars titles right now that are currently going, you have to go like
Probably the best seller for sure.
Yeah, Vader, Bounty Hunter. Afro, I'm starting to get annoyed with. And Star Wars is probably actually the worst Star Wars title they have.
Just regular Star Wars.
Probably the worst. So,
I remember that Boba Fett cover the other day was probably the coolest Boba Fett cover ever.
Which one? The one for the
Bounty
Hunters War? Yeah, Bounty Hunters War. Bounty Hunter War is going to be pretty good, man. If you have an FOC account or whatever, they sent out the Ish, did you read Bounty Hunters number? I mean, we can't talk about it, but Bounty Hunters War #1. Did you read it when they sent out the preview last week?
No.
He was good. I was surprised at how good the book was, and I think that little offspring will do okay. I think it's actually going to do okay. It's probably it's definitely better than the Star Wars mainline that they're running right now, and probably better than half the books that they're putting out. So if it stays, that Bounty Hunters War stays on the same track as #1, I think they're onto something. It's really cool. So look for that. But let's get into our top fives. We have got a guest top 5, as usual, from our man Stick Boy. Where do we got sticks at? Let me try to share sticks. I really gotta get better at this, man. Stop. Ooh, I was share screening on something else. Okay, but I don't know what I was doing there.
Fucking, was it porn?
I know, right? The porn came up again. What was it? Was that Matt that one time? Matt showed porn on this. I think we got away with it on accident. God bless him.
Whoops.
Oopsie. All right.
Try virtual teaching, my friends.
Yeah, right. So here we go with Kirby. The problem with this is like if Sticks wants us to add any comments in, I can't flick through this and say it the same. So we got a look, the leg spread out, the superhero chest, big face, Spider-Man.
He's ready to squat.
He's about to be shot in the dick.
Yeah, he is. He does cause a little bit of there's an immediacy to his emotion there.
Stick, I'm sorry if you had
Kirby's got that lunge thing he does.
The superhero lunge, yep.
The superhero lunge move.
Supposed to come out at you. The art is you're supposed to feel like they're lunging at you. Yep. Demon, I actually like this.
More lunging action.
Yeah. But even in the details in the hands and the background portion of it, 2001: A Space Odyssey.
This series is much maligned, but it's also, I think, it's really fucking cool.
I think the movie also filmed in Namibia at places at times. A little fun fact for you guys. Namibia fact.
A little point, and we'll bring it up.
A
little point, maybe we'll bring it up a little bit later too. And I want issues on this. I actually think Kirby was underrated in a lot of his space stuff, like a lot of his space backgrounds and stuff like that. I really, everybody always talks about the superhero poses and the superheroes, like one of your books that we'll see later, something about that. I don't want to give it away, but when you get into the Space Odyssey stuff and some of the other stuff that he did, even with the Fantastic Four, I really think that his space backgrounds are very underrated.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, once he got honed as a superhero guy, that's what he gave them, and people stopped appreciating some of his other genre stuff.
Was that okay? Cool. Yep. Good stuff. All right. Speaking of, so then he did Machine Man, not one of my favorite titles, but you got anytime you can have yellow lasers of death blowing up somebody is a good one. The Machine Man had the lunging portion of it, too, in a lot of us. And then Fantastic Four.
I like this one, yep.
First appearance of Kang.
Also, first appearance of a Ray of Deception, I guess. I don't know. Good stuff. Fantastic Four, I definitely think is when I think of Kirby stuff and superhero stuff, I really do think Fantastic Four was one of his better, in my opinion, one of his better superhero artworks. But that's Stick Boy. Stick Boy, thank you for submitting. We appreciate it. Anybody else, just always hit up either myself or Kyle or MCM. What's the Instagram? Something at MCM?
You can do the Modern Comic Mayhem Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
I am the one who runs it, so
I won't have to throw together slides.
If you get drunken messages from me that it's me actually me.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So that sticks. Thank you very much. Now let's see if I can stop sharing without shutting down the whole thing. Excellent. Who'd like to go next?
I'll go.
Good.
So for my top 5, number 5, I have Commanding number 1. The one thing it's something that Kirby does a lot is he makes a big focal point, and then he has everything else is kind of littler. It's kind of like a staple that he does as well. And I notice maybe not so much in this issue, but I know in a lot of issues, whoever the book was about, he makes them bigger.
Yeah,
which is kind of cool. So I just like this one.
This was going to be one of my picks. Yeah, I definitely like this one too.
Yeah, it's a great cover. Statue of Liberty. It's just a great cover.
It's hard to find like some bad Commandy covers. I feel like he does a really good job on Commandy. The books itself, it's Commandy, but covers are always dope.
And yeah, it's very much so. I agree. And you know what? No, everything is good because it's got a nice bird in here. And I like that the Statue of Liberty has this really nice fingernail right here. Like she don't fuck around.
Oh, the little coke nail.
Yeah.
Nice.
She likes to party when no one's looking.
Yeah.
My next one is Thor 168.
Mm.
And just like I was saying, like, you know, Galactus found, it's so Galactus is the predominant, and he's so much bigger than Thor on there. And I know Galactus is huge, don't get me wrong. But I like that, you know, it's just an awesome cover.
So I think this is kind of underrated with what he does sometimes, how he uses the words and like the surrounding. There's not a lot of background going on, but there's so much action. Like there's so much action.
Galactus did not miss leg day.
No, he did not. He did not miss leg day. But there's just so much action, even with the pressing of the feet on top of the words and everything like that. But there isn't a lot of background, which in other stuff that he does, there's tons of detail, like intimate details in the background, which is really cool. Sorry for talking about.
No, it's cool. It's cool. So my next one is Fantastic Four 86. I love Doctor Doom covers. And it's the same thing. Like he's just so much.
Can I point out if the thing? If you look through
the expression,
through the first 100 FFs and the way Kirby draws the thing, there's so much pathos. He's always in agony or in defeat or in some he's never being heroic in any of the covers. He's always in some sort of agony or pain.
That's what I was trying to
that's
hitting
always
at earlier.
been such an appeal of the character, and
he's given him more of like the human feel to it.
Yeah,
that was the kind of what I was pointing out earlier. I just didn't want to steal your thunder on it because I know.
No, that's the thing poses throughout. You know the way he draws them throughout this.
Because you pulled a book that I was not. I wanted somebody else to pull it because I do love it, and I said to Kyle, like, this book has to make the list. That's the one thing with Kirby. There's like so many books that have to make the list that we didn't even like.
It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, it's tough. Yep.
And you know, one thing I do like is, you know, I like that he made his hand bigger to, you know, don't worry, it's going to be okay. He you know, I like that too. So
he can be an extra large shoulder to cry on.
Yes. So my next one is Captain America #1. Him knocking the fuck out of Hitler.
Yes,
great. I like that he's even passing gas while he's hitting him for that extra strength.
This one's a little odd because you talk about his focal points before, and this one is missing some of that focal point that you see on there. The action,
because your eye is drawn to Bucky
and the busyness. Yeah.
Well, I think that's what I'm saying. Like some of his is so simple, and he shows and then he gets these ones where there's so much detail and action going on. Like you're looking in the background at the guys like kind of shoot what's going on the TV.
They've got this USA, and they've got you know
look at the shadow on the right side
for USA, and
look at the shadow on the right side of the book too, which is interesting. Also, the pass gas, which isn't, it's a bullet being shot off, and then the USA map. Really cool.
I like
really
good. Like
Yeah.
And this dude's still like, hey man, I got a job to do, so I don't give a fuck if Captain America's here. I'm still doing my job because that's what I'm getting paid to
pretty
do.
creepy in that.
Yeah.
He
looks like a
does.
doll.
I think it's the
Looks like
eyeshadow.
yeah.
A little off. The cool stuff, man. Good job, Kyle.
I got one more.
Right. Who's next? Who's up next?
Oh, I got one more.
Sorry. Oh, yeah. Because we had to have this. Yes.
So I picked this one because I love Magneto covers as well. So and same thing, like he's made Magneto a little bit bigger, a little bit more of the focal point. And this is one book I've just never been able to get at a good price. It's one that's always eluded me. I had to make it my top one. Great cover though. Anything cool, it's got Magneto. It's just a great cover.
The three characters, when I think of them that he draws as far as X-Men, that he does exceptionally well is Toad, Magneto, and Quicksilver. I think his version of those three characters are always on point. Like when I think of those characters in my head in comics, this is what I think of. I think of Toad, the way Toad looks here.
Toad looks amazing in this cover. Yeah.
I think Magneto, the way Magneto looks, and I think the way Quicksilver does. And then, giant size. Nobody put that on their list, right? Yeah. I mean, then like when giant size X-Men hits, like it's the same way. Like that's how I see some of the characters too. I think we kind of use this X-Men as an explanation for all X-Men's, but I love what he does with the X-Men. Like it's so toned down in a lot of times too. Like a lot of the poses, even the action stuff that he does isn't as over dramatic as what you see with some of the Thor covers. And then, like you said, the Fantastic Four covers are a little bit more emotional, right? So I love them. Anyways, sorry. Go ahead, Kyle.
Yeah, for sure. So that was my top 5. Those are all great covers. It was hard to pick.
That is true. Scarlet was looking
hard because there's, yes. So that was mine. Who would like to go next?
I'll go next. I got mine pulled up here. Okay. Share screen.
Good stuff, Kyle.
Yeah, that was list. Excellent list. All right, Kirby covers.
I'll put it up there for you if you don't mind.
Okay.
Hey, look at this. Somebody must teach.
I love that.
All right, yeah. All right. So this one is Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen. This is just like a fun one with like Don Rickles in this Superman book that they drew him into the Superman book. And there's so much text like in this. Are you ready for defoliants in your succotash? Are you ready for landmines in your lunchbox? Are you ready for this? 2 Rickles, Don and his long lost alter ego Goody. And this was when Don Rickles was the king. Like this was like the height of Don Rickles, so much so they put him in a comic book. And also, I mean, artistically, maybe not my favorite Kirby layout, but I it shows you that Kirby is a workman. And he's like, what do you need me to do? You need me to do a cover with Don Rickles? Gotcha. Boom, 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 boom. I got it on here.
Yeah,
and I'm going to make it look,
Superman.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. What do you think of
Superman? Is awesome.
Superman's fantastic in this. Yeah, he's got his Superman covers in general are fantastic, but the only thing about this cover that's a little odd is the pop out here of the Don Rickles.
Yeah, the photo pop out.
It almost looks like a troll or something.
Yeah, it's like a caricature you get at a beach
from Harry Potter.
Yeah, that's good. That's actually not bad. Yeah, like
Dobby
Rickles.
I really do like his Superman, though. I think he draws Superman probably the best.
Mm-hmm. You'll see a running theme. So there's a lot of great bullseye.
I like the red
covers.
bullseye one.
Yeah, there's a lot of great ones.
Shoots the bow and arrow with his mouth.
This one is like 1954. I don't know when the London Underground started doing like their logo for it, which got corporified by like punk rock, 1970s British punk rock. But when I see this, when you see the blue line bullseye with the red on there, it just screams like 1970s punk rock, like sub punk rock on there. And so every time I'm flipping through Kirby covers, this one always jumps out at me because I'm like, oh wait, is this like a Sex Pistol? Oh no, it's bullseye. So just eye-catching to me. I think you can make argument for other better bullseye covers, but this first one I really like. Yeah. This was my Commandy pick. I almost went with the same one that Kyle went, but I'm a sucker for big apes in comics. You see behind me here, I got a Congo one on there. I love giant cartoon gorillas. I'm a sucker for them, like anything Kong related, and the layout
I love
here
the
of
need
how
for
he lays the
the loincloth on the
yeah, and it's like he tied it around, like that's
like a
very
sumo,
it's a very specific knot. Like you can't just accidentally tie that. Also, the destruction of the city and stuff in here is really cool, and the colors of these blues on with this red just really makes the whole thing pop on there. Really love that Commandy cover.
I don't know why I just don't like Commandy covers.
Oh yeah! Oh wow, that was against my other. I was like, you can't get a bit. You were biting your tongue on that last comment when I was like, you can't go wrong with Commandy covers.
Yeah, you said it like 5 times, and I finally was like, yeah, I just gotta.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's all right. I mean, they just never do anything for me.
I think also like the Commandy, like his designs is pale blonde, and they always have like bright colors in the background that pops that. And then we get into one of the things I really love, and if I ever got into like the collecting world, like how you guys collect comics, we were talking about like weird things that you would collect. I think I would just like collect old beat up Westerns. I don't need like the 9.8s, but just like some beat up. I love Western covers. I love Western books. And these are always like long box surfing at cons. You can pick up some beat up ones. And this is such a great one. I mean, these are like fully rendered characters in here with Kid Colt. And he's taking on like 12 guys on this cover. It's got the action on here. Each of these villains is rendered differently. You just don't get that kind of detail on some cover artists where everyone's going to be rendered like a full character. Really great cover there. I really love that one.
I had a hard time not including one of the Westerns on my list. I was looking at Rawhide.
Rawhide's nice.
Rawhide Kid number 17.
Mm.
I was like, ooh. Ultimately they didn't make my list, but his Western work definitely.
Yeah, he kind of dropped out once his superhero stuff started getting big. They kind of pulled him out of there, and I don't think he inked all his Western covers. I was looking at it earlier, and it was like Dick Ayers was inking those, and this one I put on here. It's you would see these kind of covers from time to time, but these panel covers, I think is kind of like an interesting era of comics where you get the panel on the cover, like that storytelling on the cover of that. And I'd like to see them bring that. I don't know, maybe they do this still like from time to time, but I think it would be kind of a cool way to do some books, the panel layout of this on the Two Gun Kid here, Two Gun Kid 63, just kind of like, I don't know if this is the best marketing ploy for people who don't read comics, but for people who read comics, like having that panel design on there is kind of cool. Day. Yeah. Got a lot of story on there. So yeah, those are mine.
Which is awesome. That's good stuff. All right. Ish, it does not matter to me if you want to go or if you want me to go. Kyle, I think you have issues anyways.
Yep, I'll bring it up right now.
How about feel? Nice. Oh, you already lined. Oh, yep.
All right. Mighty Thor 127. So this the pose. You guys probably know that this pose appears throughout the history of comics. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
It's the Mary Jesus
Superman,
pose.
Superman holding Supergirl during the Infinite Crisis. Kyle knows what I'm talking about. This is for some reason the one character holding the other character like that.
It's Mary and Jesus. That's what's based off of. I mean,
I guess it just appears throughout comics, and for me, this is one of the classic ones. I don't even think this is the first time that this pose, we'll call it, appeared, but just
when he does
cool.
the gray, makes everything really pop out in the purple.
Yeah. If I ever pass away, Kyle, I want you to open casket. I want you to pull my body out, and I want you to mourn over me like an offering.
Done.
Now, Thor did miss leg day, by the way.
Will does rigor mortis make this like a hard sell? Like you have to do this as a fresh bod?
This would be.
I'll give you a few days so that rigor mortis is done, and that you can like slump.
Limber me up, yeah.
Yeah, I'll wait.
Stretch me out.
I'll give you a few days. I'll let you marinate. So next we got
The Thors were hard to choose from. There's so many amazing Thor covers.
Hold on, my computer's being stupid.
Awesome.
Damn it, it froze.
Yeah, it wasn't responding to me. Mine clicks very well either. I get you.
Would you like me to go real quickly while we unfreeze, or?
I know I want Ish to describe the covers. Let's imagine them.
Hold on.
Close your eyes.
You want me to add in? Okay.
Okay. Sorry,
cool.
everybody.
No, it's all right. A little technical. Oh, nice.
Ooh, good cover.
All right, FF39. Yeah, again, we looked at the other FF, and it's the same. Doctor Doom just kind of hovering, impending doom.
Puppet Master style, kind of, yeah.
The thing looks scared. Oops. Thing looks scared. Oops, shit. Now it's working.
Yeah, and then kind of an awkward Daredevil, but still very
He
cool.
looks like he's really playing the blind card really well.
Yeah.
There you go. And you know what? I kind of love that little title card, "A blind man shall lead them."
Which is interesting because I didn't add in any Daredevil, and I was like, man, that's such a shame that I didn't add in some of the Daredevil. So
I really want to do the one where Daredevil was fighting Captain America in the ring.
Yeah. Well, that was on somebody else's list that didn't show up tonight.
That did show up, so I had taken it off because that was it's a cool cover, and but oh well.
Mm-hmm. All right, what's up next?
What is this right here that he's got in his hand? Is this like a remote control or a walkie-talkie, or what does that look like to you guys? Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Here.
What does that look like to you? Oh, awesome. Yep.
Yeah, so Foxhole #1.
I love this that he's writing his mom.
That was the thing. I was looking at the Western covers, the war covers. I was like, man, I got to include at least one of them from one of those genres. And this one is just bonkers. I mean, yeah, Dear Mom. What is it? I can't read.
The war is like a picnic.
Yeah, the war is like a
I
picnic.
didn't-
Today we spent a day at the beach.
I didn't even see this cover. This is like my favorite so far. This is amazing.
He's got the strap on, missing the ear. He's got he's been hitting, the background, obviously a D-Day type
It
scenario.
looks like a couple bullets have hit his helmet.
Yep.
Yeah. And you look at the
Really
top, it says you dig in, you fight, and maybe you die.
God,
This is
who
so
was it?
grim.
Who
This
was?
so
Is it
hardcore.
Faber used to do the Preacher covers, right? It kind of reminds me of that kind, like the way the lines and the inks and just like the face, how that realistic kind of almost, I don't want to call it painterly, but it really reminds me of that Faber stuff.
I think this one is from 1954, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, so ahead of its time.
And it has this kind of almost ahead of its time style to it. Like it feels like it's the 70s.
I would have not have guessed 1950s for sure.
Yeah,
There's no way. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very grim stuff. It's like I'd say like the hard rock equivalent of a comic book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude, it's really cool.
That's my favorite.
Really cool.
That's my favorite so far.
First appearance of Groot. I love this cover. I love the gradients of the color from the top through the middle, the red kind of turning into the rust, into kind of the orange sunset color. Just aesthetically, I find that very appealing. And then just that, how Kirby is very famous for the pipes, when he does those science fiction backgrounds. Yep. It's just crazy technology. And it's kind of here, but like an organic version with the tree branches and the roots.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I wonder how come they never addressed him being from Planet X in the movies?
Tales to Astonish at this time had a lot of the prototype villains.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it ended
the original Magneto, the original Doctor Doom, but they're all given. I think like Magneto was Magnetor or something like that.
That wasn't Magnetor.
Magnetor, yeah.
Yeah.
So we see a lot of prototypes of characters that end up being, and they change them maybe a little and refine them.
What year was this ish? What year was this cover?
This
You know?
one, I want to say
59.
61, 59. Okay.
Yeah. Nice.
So
Last. Is it last? No, third.
Yep.
Third.
No, there's
Nope.
one more. Nope.
That was it.
that
Nope.
was it.
No, there was the FF51.
FF51.
Spoiler.
Spoiler alert. FF51. Great cover.
And
Don't
that
worry,
I
you
kind of picked too, and obviously this is debatable.
Yeah,
But
because
that's
it was
one-
the monster. It was that was the cover that I was kind of referencing earlier. The
Correct.
Monster Within, where things on there, and you get to see.
Hold on.
And that's a book that I've seen multiple people write about or mention how if you had to pick one issue, just one single issue in the history of Marvel to rank as number one, that one has popped up.
Yeah, you could just add it to the screen. There we go. The Man and This Monster.
Yes,
that's-
This Man, This Monster.
Mhm.
So in some circles, this is considered the single greatest issue that Marvel ever published. And like we said, just the pathos of the Thing character is just unbelievable.
It
And
is.
even you see Sue's reaction too.
Mm-hmm.
I think I bought this book from Jesse James for like $9 or $10.
Oh wow.
It was a great copy. I actually sold it for like a lot more so that I could buy my Walking Dead #1 a long time ago. This is one of the books that I sold. But yeah, this is a great cover.
Well, who am I out of this show with? Seriously.
What?
No,
You
this is a great
shut
cover.
your mouth.
This is a great cover. You should have kept it. You have actually had a good comic book. All
This
right.
is how Kyle looked when he sold this comic book. This is his exact expression. Empty-handed, just staring down at his own cod piece.
I'm a little bit sad.
The dejection.
Mr. Fantastic
Shame.
freaking out in the background. Oh, all right. Share screen. Let's see if I got one left in
Save
me.
the best for last.
I don't know. That's the case.
It's all Commandy covers.
Is this? I don't even think this is
All
mine.
5 of them.
It is. Okay. So Tales from Astonish, and we might just do that as a top 5 Tales for Astonish next week because there's so many good covers in there. A lot of them are Kirby covers. I think that was kind of part of our problem too. There's so many good Kirby covers for so many different genres.
You'd have to do multiple top 5.
We've had a great mix though so far.
Yeah.
Great mix.
Yeah, but there's also some great books in this series. We're going to do another poll, so watch out for our poll. It might be this and it might be Creeper Magazine. We'll see who wins. This is one that pops out to me, just how they do the eyes. And like I said, there's so much action. This is one of those where you just have an oversized character. You don't even get to see the whole character, but there's so much like action and panic and feeling in the cover that you get from just looking at this. And something I always talk about, like, yeah, sure, there's some word bubbles on there and there's a little bit of great coloring and everything like that, but the art really takes away and you get a feeling for what's going on just through what the artist did there. Number 2, AF-15. The story behind this too, like I know, like it's easy, right? You can't do it and not put it up there, but like where he's telling Ditko, Lee is at the point telling Ditko, like, yeah, bro, they're canceling this. They're canceling this anyways. I'm gonna get a shot at throwing this spider guy out there, but you're just not good enough. I got to have my boy Kirby come in here and like speed draw this and sketch it out, and that's how this classic cover got made. I'm not even a huge Spidey guy, but if this doesn't just say comics to you and doesn't say like amazing, then I don't know, man.
Well, it does say amazing right there on the cover.
Right.
It really does.
There it is. But that's it. I mean, that's just the story behind it and the two of them getting along at the point, and them being their right and left hand mans, and just the history behind it. This cover just says a lot of stuff for it, and I do, even though this was like, because did it end at like 8? Wasn't it going to end at 18? If I remember correctly, it was close. They're canceling this title, so it's just really cool.
The next issue, the one that it was amazing adult fantasy.
It was before this, wasn't it?
Oh,
it was amazing.
Before,
It was amazing adult fantasy. Was 14, which was the last one under adult fantasy. Then it became amazing fantasy because they were going to cancel it, I think, at 16 originally. If I recall correctly, it's
now
late.
we have amazing fantasy coming back this summer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, so a Fantastic Four, I think why I didn't choose one of the other covers, which I do, I always like the Galactus with Silver Surfer on it. That's a great cover. There's a ton of great covers in this one. Why I chose 29 though is because I really just, it was the same thing. You had the Thing, you had Sue with her shocked face, you had Johnny Storm looking a little bit weak, you know what I mean? And then you have the space background, the Watch, or something that I always thought that Kirby did well together. That the color palette going on.
Yeah, I forgot about this cover, and that color palette is so ahead of its time.
Yeah, thank you. The detail to the, like, I drew it, like fucking I had shit to do with this cover. Like I just picked
the shadows.
Marco, thank you.
Thank you for presenting this cover that you had shit to do with. Yes. No, but I just think, and then the detail even of the housing of the actual street, like even the pole, like it just so much to soak in. Once again, one of those where you look at it and you see different stuff, even though it seems so simple, the shadows, the mapping on the ground, like everything seems very simple when you look at it in the wide view, but when you start looking into it, you see how much detail's in it. And that's what I think when I think Kirby, man. I mean, this is like the shit that I love from him. Speaking of what I like, also, Guilty or Justice Trap, the Guilty, or as the kids are referring it, JTG, bro. Is that what they say? That's not what they probably say.
Nobody says that. Come on.
Yeah.
Nobody says that.
But the point, there's the reason why I love this color, besides the yells that they used to use back there with the red offsetting and stuff, is two things about Kirby here. The faces on the officers, the hard line chins, the Superman type look, how he also, the criminal, looks a little bit disturbed, everything that's going on, the one pant leg that's tore up compared to the one that's down, the shoes that are green and screwed up, like every single thing in this in this book is like, it's great, man. I really do love it. It's some of the crime stuff too. I think we forget. We do remember for doing the Westerns and stuff like that, but do remember that he did a couple crime books too, and he did a really good job with it. It's kind of like war gets overlooked with him sometimes too. I think just cool. And then this one. Look, I'm not a big fan of Nazis. I like to punch Nazis in the face. You punch one Nazi and hit two. Like, this is a great book. Also one of those that has a ton of stuff going on in the background. When you got Toro, so this is Young Allies 1. When you got Toro or Mini Flash and you got little Bucky or Mini Captain America going on here, you've got the rest of the group in the back, all the kids that are about to get knocked out, and you have to have Toro saving them before they get stabbed. Literally, it was like a weaponized mechanic thing that's going to stab them. You've got the Nazi in the background trying to shoot. You've got Bucky punching Red Skull into Adolf. There's the blood in the dead bars in the background. Hitler's foot actually hit the mechanic that was going to stab the civilians. Probably not the most PC cover you can come around, but for the time, it was what it was. Remember, it's somebody beating up Nazis. So that's always... I think we can always take that away from these books. Love the coloring. Love how it's even 3/4 of a page. Like, that's how the front cover was. It's only actually like 3/4 of the art going on there. And he fits so much in that 3/4. It's impressive, man. It really is. Mm-hmm. Why is Who in a giant chair? Just because Kirby likes to drive giant things every once in a while, bro.
He does. It makes it like a focal point. That's
Yeah, he does. So those were mine. I mean, there was a ton more. I think I switched this list just today alone. The list I switched 3 or 4 times. There's so much Kirby stuff. I think we can go.
Nobody even went with New Gods or Forever People.
Okay, so should I pull up? I can hold on. We'll pull up the Corbin list, even though he's not here.
Or all the Cap covers.
Okay.
I mean, we saw some old one, but just the other Cap covers he did.
Should we do this? Yeah, we'll do it.
All right. We'll do it.
All right, where is it?
The one thing I did researching all these Kirby covers and going back and looking, it's one thing I did notice is it seemed like every time he drew Captain America, his mouth was open.
Yeah,
I never understood that. Why? Well, that's what I was saying earlier in our show. If I could ask Kirby one question, out of all the questions, it'd be like, why the fuck did you always draw him with his mouth open? Is he a mouth breather? Did he what was your intention of doing that?
Yeah, that would be a good question. I mean, like, you got to remember too, the one that I always hate is when people say like Kirby wasn't that good of an artist and they point out certain aspects. And I always say, do you know the workload that he was doing at that point with all the think about some of the guys today that are out there doing art. Are they doing all the covers and all the books for 15 different titles in 15 different styles? You know what I mean? The different genres. There's not even different genres for most of these books anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so crazy how talented he was and how much that he could get done. I should probably stop sharing my screen as quickly as he did.
No, he was I sometimes I don't even think he went home.
No, it's just amazing. It is absolutely amazing what he had done. I'm sorry. I'm trying to find the
Corbin's.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, here it is. Okay, so and we'll get rid of that because it's we don't want to dox me, do we?
No.
Okay, so we'll not dox me. All right, and let's see if I can do this without doxing me.
Come on, Marco, you can do it. Don't
I know. All right, so here we go. Kirby covers, and this is what he only did 4. There was a 5th one, but we never added it in. Black Panther number 4, combination of like that New God type theory on it, and he actually really did like
cover.
Lunge pose.
Lunge. Then we have New Gods number 1. Because
I thought of this cover too, just because the look on his face, you know.
Right.
Look at me.
Also, how he looks like he's gonna eat the
Like,
world. I do like the background too with the world. You know, the war's going on back there, like he's trying to cause the disruption. Really great.
Or he's almost saying like, you know, hold my beer.
Yeah, right. And here's Daredevil.
Hold my spear.
I have love-hate relationship with this cover. It's just a tough cover for me to love. I think it's just
that was one that I wanted to pick, and I thought it was.
And then Avengers number 1. I don't know. He didn't give us an explanation why he picked any of these. This is a normal size Cap, which is kind of a weird thing for Kirby to do. But as Kyle pointed out, Cap's got his mouth open. These guys' teeth kind of grinding, but wide open mouth. You do get a look.
He's
yelling.
He's proclaiming.
Yeah, you got a little bit of Black Knight in the background, Ant-Man, Thor. He's got some of his greatest hits in the background, which is kind of cool to see too there. And that's what we got for that version of the old Kirby. Thank you for Corbin. Sorry you couldn't make it.
Yep, and Jesse messaged me, and if you go to Jesse's site and his Facebook page, he's always got this awesome picture of him and Kirby when Jesse was a little.
Oh, that's cool.
The comic book store he used to work at. So he got to meet and hang out with Kirby, which is freaking cool.
Yeah, that's crazy. They did all the work from his house. Start from the belt up and down. Excellent. Yeah, does she do all the interior covers and 10 different titles? She only does 10 store variants. It's a little bit different, I think.
No, he just sat there and he fucking drew. Kirby just drew.
Yeah, Kirby just drew. No, I was giving JJ a little bit of crap.
I know.
So that's cool. So that's what we got. I don't think it's Justice the Great. I get what Figure's doing here with the greater than Stan Lee thing and stuff like that. I don't think that's really, I don't know, man.
You can't
that's not a fair assessment, I don't believe. And I think some of the sides got a little twisted on that too. And
it just shows what kind of workhorse Kirby was.
Kirby, and it was Kirby shunned the spotlight. He shunned fame, he shunned money. Yeah. He didn't negotiate his contracts.
Some of that stuff
later years, fans now make a big deal out of this. Oh
yeah,
he was
there's a lot of
fun, and he did what he lived his life the way he wanted to. I don't think that's
I think there was some, I think when he started seeing certain aspects of it, there was some maybe slight regret, but in the end, he came out even saying he didn't. And then the family members
he made his own decisions.
Family members got into it in the end and started saying what, like after he'd passed,
which is usually what happens. Is
I don't think
I never got my cut or my piece of the pie.
Yeah, I mean, I think that happens,
and that stings. Yeah, and that's for a lot of people later in life when you're like the dude who sold G.I. Joe for $100,000.
All right,
how does he feel 40 years later?
Yeah,
sucker.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's part. Yeah, it's part of it. And like you said, Kirby did what he wanted to do when he wanted to. And I think in the end, there was a lot of getting back. And I think if you would tell either one of those men, I think they pretty much were like one without the other. It was,
absolutely.
You wouldn't have it either way. I mean, I think sometimes you don't have to take sides. You can just say, man, that really stunk, but that was what it was. All right. Kyle, what's our next segment?
I think that's it.
Damn it, dude. You didn't give me enough time to do it. Well, if that's
anybody watching MODOK on Hulu?
Damn, I almost hit it. I almost cut him off.
Nope.
No.
You watch it?
I watched I watched 6 episodes.
Is it good?
I've been enjoying it. A lot of people are comparing it to a show that I never watched, which was Robot Chicken. Never watched Robot Chicken, so I couldn't care less about the comparison. But I mean, it's obviously the take on MODOK is completely different from the comics because they're put in a sitcom format. But a lot of the jokes are pretty funny, and I just love some of the references. There's a talk show. Master Pandemonium is the host of the talk show. I love stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like Robot Chicken.
Yeah, it's that's
the character
like
when they did it.
Puppets.
Yeah, so like there was a MODOK. What's his name? Did a MODOK version on wasn't on Robot Chicken when he first did it. Patton Oswalt.
Patton Oswalt, yeah.
It was kind of like
he wrote the miniseries comic book that came out, and then now obviously he's the voice of and the head writer of the show.
So I mean that's cool. Maybe you should watch it.
It's fun, Hey, it's R-rated Marvel,
I know. No, I want to get to it. There's just so much stuff to do in the summertime, but I really want to get because did you read MODOK Assassin? That little 4-part mini that they did
that just recently came out.
No, that came out like 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Oh no,
because that was kind of a take on it too. And I think that was the one that Patton Oswalt wrote, didn't he? He wrote some crap like that, didn't he?
Maybe.
It was funny. Yeah, it was good.
The show, everybody's name, everyone has regular names, Melissa, whatever.
What's his name?
Lewis. But then they give him, they're all acronyms like MODOK. So it's hilarious to hear what the stuff they come up with.
Oh, yeah, Patton's Star Wars theories. Yes.
What is it? I've never heard it.
No, he has them. It's good. Just go look him up on the interwebs, man. It's 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Damn it.
Yeah, I know, bro.
You're going to make me do research?
I know. Holy crap. You might have to. We can go over those next week, though. Do check out the channel. Make sure you're watching the great content that we have on here. Do know that the main show is coming back on Monday. They'll be doing good. Dino, the man who just passed the credit card for us to submit comics to maybe a questionable grading company. He has got this new comic book show on Thursday. Thank you for leaving some of my schedule there, Dino. It's pretty good. Make sure you're checking out. They bring in a lot of old school guys. It's a very fun watch. Don't forget, I think I saw Dollar Bin digging over there. Richie, thank you for showing up. Make sure you're checking out Modern Playbook, but they're also doing the recaps. Our boy Steve Horn is over there too. They're doing a really great job. And every once in a while, I keep almost doxing people. I got to stop saying because of what their real name. Anyways, check out all those people over there. We do have the Star Wars show tomorrow at 9:05 or 15, whenever I decide to set it. Come on, hang out, man. We'll have a good time. JJ, did we miss anything? Thank you, Eric, once again for your artwork. We really do appreciate it. Make sure that you check out the new series, Craven the Tree Hugger. And don't forget to get your comics at Ace Hardware.